something about you that caught my eye. There's something so true that sparks a light. And I don't believe in love first sight, but I can't deny this thing I found. I'm not saying that you would change my life, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. I'm not saying that you are just my type, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of mind. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of mind. You walk like a queen, you rule my mind. Nothing more to feel with you, I'm done. And I don't believe in love first sight, but I can't deny this thing I found. I'm not saying that you would change my life, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. I'm not saying that you are just my type, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of mind. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of mind. Rather be in this state of mind. I'd rather be in, come alive. I'd rather be in, you make me come alive.
Good evening, ladies and brads. Welcome to the final round of Octane Online Racing's Legend Series. We got into double figures. It is Season 10. And as I said, this is the final round, Round 7. We are in La Castellet in France. My name is Jamie Conboy, joined tonight by David Bender McNulty. Hello to you, sir.
Yes, hello Jamie, and hello to all the viewers and Brads in chat. Hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday evening.
It is a beautiful Wednesday evening, crisp and dry in France by the look of it. And hello to you, Neil Alexander. I believe you're joining us tonight.
G'day, sir. G'day, Bender. How are we?
May potentially drop in. I'm not sure if chat can hear him, but Bender and I have got him. And he's just gone and moved out, so we'll have a bit of patience and see whether or not he joins us. But I'm looking forward to this one here in France. The Super Sprint format returns for the final round. You've got your 20-minute sprint race, followed by a reverse grid for the 40-minute sprint race afterwards. And even though it's dry at the moment, this is qualifying one, so this is held on the previous day. So we're moving on to another day tomorrow. It could potentially rain still for race one.
Hey,
of course, we're well aware that this track's got plenty of rain and moisture. Capable. We were just here only a couple of weeks ago from the Endurance Series, saw plenty of moisture. Hello, Neil.
G'day, mate. How are we? Can you hear
We're
me?
super well, of course. Very happy to be here at Paul Ricard. How goes the move?
Exhausting.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, just exhausting. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, it's no mean feat.
Come
moving
Saturday,
house.
I'll be putting my feet up. How goes it in here, though?
Well, I mean, JC, you just said we're all happy to be here. I mean,
Every single one of us is happy to be
no,
here.
we're not, mate. No, we're not. It's a garbage track.
See you later, Bender.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
No worries, mate. Have a great night. Life. This is a magnificent track. What are you on about?
Yeah, beautiful spot for racing, side by side, all the way. So as you said, this is qualifying one. We are getting tucked into this now. This is held on Saturday. And then we'll move into race one, which is tomorrow morning in game time. So there is very much a chance of rain or any sort of weather, really. Because as I said, we're going to be a full 16 hours from now when we move on to the race. So anything can happen. Look at these ugly liveries, by the way.
There's not
Ugly
many of
livery
them.
night tonight. There's a couple of really bad ones straight off the bat.
Got his team name right.
Team I saw.
Getting a headache looking at it.
Look, you've tried hard here, Chris, but I don't actually mind that. I've seen worse. The wheels have actually completely shattered my views, but the rest of the car looks good.
I agree. I actually thought it looked all right from the front too, and I was going to agree with you until it came into view sideways, and then it got uglier as it sort of rotated through your field of vision. So
Looks mega. Looks mega like that.
It looks really good there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then it just goes downhill. Shazrin has tried hard to make a bad livery, but I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, someone said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah, I
shout.
can see that.
Yeah, it is. It's a fair lick of green.
How'd you pull up after Sunday, JC? Big night.
It was a huge night, wasn't it? No, we were blessed to have such awesome racing all night long, and the time flew by. So, yeah, no, 6 hours of Monza. It was a long stretch, but no, we Jacob and I certainly enjoyed ourselves for the whole stint, and of course we had Alex Bowen join us for the first one, and Justin Chait jumping in for the second two, and it was great fun. It was an awesome night. And again, big thanks to Mike Crick for coming in and putting the show on for us. So yeah, it was good to have him point the camera in the right directions, which allowed me to sort of relax for the night. And no, it was a good 6 hours.
It was actually a good fun event. Most of the night. How'd you go, David?
Oh, I didn't race. I
I
was
know.
able to get
How you
home
feeling?
about not racing.
Yeah, you had appendicitis, don't you?
No, I
That's what I
didn't.
saw in chat. Oh, you could have gone with it and got some charity points here, but anyway.
I bought it. I bought every cent of it. I didn't know. I walked in and people at Bender's not here because they're appendicitis. I felt terrible.
I didn't. Nah, I would have sent you some ice cream. Is that what you have? No, that's with your tonsils. That's tonsillitis.
Tonsils, yeah.
Appendicitis, what are you having?
Feel free to send ice cream anyway.
What do you like? What's your go-to ice cream?
Oh, probably Neapolitan.
Oh, here's a good question for OOR. Which side of the Neapolitan do you go for first? And why is it chocolate?
Yeah, it's chocolate for me first, every time.
I'm pretty sure my mum chucked out the strawberry side nearly every single time growing up.
Yep.
But someone else might like the strawberry. Shout out if you do. You must also put pineapple on pizza.
Are you just describing me here? Is that it?
So the strawberry side's your go-to?
No, it's not my go-to. I mean, I like it though.
Of course you do. You'd probably put it on pizza.
I've never tried it, but I would if that was an option. Yeah.
I won't lie, I've actually had ice cream on pizza before. One of those dessert pizzas in a restaurant. Goes alright.
Interested to know how that works. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for trying new things, and I'm sure it would taste good if you could get the ice cream not to melt by the time it reached your plate. On
Yeah, that's the
hot
thing.
pizza base,
Most of
so-
it was fairly melted-ish. Lots of banana and maybe maple syrup was in there as well. It was nice. I wouldn't order it most nights, but you've got to try everything twice, don't you? Isn't that the saying?
I've had it on pancakes before. That's pretty good.
What, you've had ice cream on pancakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like dessert
similar-ish.
pancakes.
Is Mel okay? Still living in that other... Nah. No. Quick answer. Hello, Jan. How are we? We've only got Ford Pro drivers out there tonight. What's with the Pro drivers avoiding Paul? What's Paul done?
Not a huge amount of them in this split in the first place. There's only 8 of them that I can see on the board here. Michael Babb is one of those, so of course he is forgiven for not joining us tonight.
Yeah, 9. Officially 9. But we've got 4. Maybe 5. No, sorry, we've got 4, because Reese Penfolder hasn't been upgraded just yet. Can we do it mid-race?
Yeah, why not? Always adds a bit of excitement to it.
Just restart the whole thing. Reese Penfold has the AM Championship pretty much in the bag. Just has to turn up and race.
He doesn't even need to do that. He's that far clear.
Well, the person in P2 will need to win both races tonight, which, no offence, isn't likely to happen. Sneakers, who's currently the championship winner in this split, currently going 54.1. But the one to watch tonight is Alex Pass and Brock Godfrey. They're fighting for the Pro-Am Championship, and there's only, 12 points separating them. That's where my eyes are going to be tonight.
Yeah, 12 points, that's not much, particularly when we've got the chaos of a reverse grid sprint race in there.
This track's great for it. I just love watching racing here. Triple Chock Cornetto. I'm not much of a Cornetto fan. Actually, I'm not much of an ice cream fan, if I'm being honest. Yes, what's in Tasmanian water, I know. I'm more of a, is it gelato? Or frozen yogurt? Jeez, I sound like a yuppie there.
It was a little bit posh.
Has there ever been a perfect season in OOR before? Every season's perfect, isn't it? But I know what you mean. You're meaning in...
Someone winning every race. The closest I would say would be season 1 of our F1 championship. Even then,
Nah.
it wasn't close, but...
He only did 11 races.
yeah, he did 11 races, but what did he win? 10 of them?
8.
9? Or 8, okay. 8 out of
Still-
11 is pretty good conversion rate, just saying.
Yeah, but he had to do the full season to...
Yeah, it's a bit full season, yeah.
Because it wasn't too far off him, and I looked like, oh yeah, but he was just a freak. Thanks for ruining my championship.
Yeah.
But Battle for P2 that year was sensational. I'm just checking. I don't believe so. Because these reverse grid races are pretty much thrown in there for that reason. No one wants to see someone win every single race, do they? Really?
No.
Because we're close to it
Fine.
here.
Team LH might want to, but no one that's sane would want to.
Well, Max is about to break that record.
Yeah, he's going to smack it out
He's
of the
going to
park
smack
this
it.
season, isn't he?
Ferrari embarrassed themselves here.
Yeah, and he's going to break Seven Michael's record as well. Most consecutive race wins.
What is it?
9.
Wow. And he's just so calm now. That's what scares the shit out of me. He's just so chill, calm. He doesn't throw the car in spots now where he's 50-50.
Doesn't need to.
Exactly. But even with the fast car, he would have done it. He just would have just been impatient. But now he's like, you know what? I'm just going to chill. Ferrari going to do Ferrari things, and Mercedes ain't caught up to speed. He is a very talented man, Mr. Verstappen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. The season started off looking like it was going to be almost a 3-horse battle between Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull, and then it pretty quickly became evident that Mercedes just weren't quite at the pace of the other two, but Ferrari were right in amongst it. Sainz and Leclerc both on their day had the capability to win races, but now it is Verstappen and then space and then everyone else.
Yeah, and well, Leclerc was leading the championship after round 5 or something, wasn't he? Still
Yep.
ahead.
Yeah, he had a 40-something point lead.
Yeah. It just sounds like Vettel one year, hey? When Ferrari and Mercedes were going at it, and Hamilton was just in Vettel's head, and they just kept making mistakes, and that's a nice drift there, Michael.
Oh, keeps it in the lines too. Play on. Just noticed a couple of cheeky disqualifications down there for Chad Brethevich and Chad. No Chads allowed in this qualifying session, apparently.
Wow.
Wonder if we can get our resident penalty gentleman in here to give us an update on why that might be.
Yep, if your first name's Chad, you're starting from the pits. Here's Brock fighting for the Pro-Am Championship. Alex is 7th, he's a main rival. 6/10 separate those two at the moment. But 2 races tonight. This is a super sprint to see the season out. That race 2 is going to be very, very hectic. I've had some crackers of reverse grid racing here. Just a good track for it. I actually think I even got a win.
Brock might be positioning himself for the reverse grid pole here, potentially, which is currently held by Shazza in there in P12. Minute and a half to go.
Yeah,
How about Reece Penfold up there in P3 at the moment, by the way?
flying. It won't matter too much though if they qualify 12th, because they're still going to do the race, so that's what it's based off. So they're probably playing themselves out a little bit. Due to points. So they were allowed to go there and do a time, which is interesting. But better late than never. I'm fairly sure that if they've set times and they get unDQ'd for the race, it's going to put them where the time was. That's going to be interesting.
More questions than answers then.
Mo prefers a sorbet. Yes, I do prefer sorbet. That is a great word. You know, you're in a rush moving house when your lunch consists of 2 dim sims and a corn jack. God, I felt unhealthy eating that, but geez, it was good.
All the food groups, they're in there.
What's your what's your go-to item in a Bain Marie?
Ooh.
Mine's usually a potato cake, but or a corn jack.
It's sweet chili chicken tenders.
Ooh, that's a nice shout. What
Yeah,
about
it's a good question. There's a lot of good items that can come out of a Bain Marie. But the go-to, it's almost like Max Verstappen in the Formula 1 grid. I think the sweet chili chicken tenders just on another level compared to the rest of the field there.
What about you, David?
I mean, the sweet. It's got to have sweet chili. It's got to be something with sweet chili. For me, I mean, it's a bit of a cop out saying the same thing now as you, JC, but
Not at all. Join me.
No, it's a cop out. No, I used to go those as well when I was in college. They were my go-to, but you never say no to a corn jack. What's one you avoid? Like the plague from Bain Marie. For me, I cannot stand spring rolls, or is it Chico rolls? Can't stand those. If you have those, you've got no taste buds.
I am a spring roll enjoyer.
Of course.
I actually enjoy Chico rolls much more than I enjoy spring rolls. Spring rolls are a little bit flat, a little bit boring. The missus froths spring rolls. She loves those. But no, Chico rolls are great. I'm all about the Chico roll.
Don't you guys know what a Bain Marie is?
I was going to say I'm not a fan of spring rolls either. But for me, I'd probably say anything that's got even just a moderate amount of salad onion. I don't like it. Not a fan.
DQ for 165 and 44 for being silly. Too silly.
There you go.
No, it's
Too
now
silly
wasn't.
indeed.
No. 44 is JP, so I don't know if that was legit. But I want to see where these chads end up. At the back. Work like a cheat.
Qualifying bans for license points. Thank you, Fire Lord. Welcome to you.
Well, those naughty boys shouldn't have gone out there to qualify. So, life imprisonment. JC, I have a really important question for you.
I'm ready for it.
James Hird, coach of the Bombers.
No.
Your name's not JC, fuck off!
We're not going there. No, we're not
Go away, go away, go away.
It looks to be on the cards. And I, for one... Look, Bombers fans are going to welcome him back, but I don't think it's a good fit simply because we're then going to be drug cheats until forever. Personally, I want Uze in as a coach. It's a better image. He's probably more experienced and the better option. We need the best possible option we can get. Herd seems like a bit of a fairy tale reunion kind of thing, and I don't know if we're just going at that because it feels nice. I think Uze is the better option, but if he ends up being the best coach based on the process that we go through, then so be it. I'm not going to be sad that James Hird has rejoined us.
James, welcome back to being head coach of the Essendon football team. Just a question here. Is there anything you can take from the COVID pandemic and people's well-being and choice about what they put in their body that you might implement into your next supplement scheme?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
If that is not the first question that is asked, I don't know who these journalists are, honestly. He should not be anywhere near a football club.
I'm all about second chances, but I think he's okay to be an assistant somewhere, which he's been doing, but to be given a leadership role like that after what happened in his ban, I think that's a little bit of a cop-out, really. It's not a good image, and Essendon's image needs some work, and bringing someone back that's taken the players and the staff through... He was the head honcho. He was the head of the snake. So I just think that's a bit of a backward step. And Adam Uze is a quality human. I thought your previous coach, Rutten, was a decent one as well. But also, no one wants to coach the Bombers because of this. It's a tough time. My partner's a Bombers fan, and I'm a football fanatic. I've actually worked with someone who went through that whole scandal, and he became a coach, and he got rubbed out and all this, and it's just... What they had to go through is just ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't agree that Herd is a good decision. Like, I'm a Suns fan, and I've just seen Robert Sava being fined $10 million and banned for a year. But that was it for his misconduct for staff. And I'm surprised he wasn't kicked out or...
I thought it was a bit light.
Or told to sell the team or told that he needs to apologise publicly. No, you've implemented stuff to fix the problem, but at the same time, he hasn't really taken accountability for it. Donald Sterling said a couple of naughty words and he had to sell the team, but interesting. It's a bit of a contradicting world, the old sports world.
Yeah, I compare it to the Steve Smith saga too. The ball tampering and whatnot. And as you said before, you rightly said, like, I'm fine with him being an assistant coach, but he can't come in and be the head coach. Same as Steve Smith, he can be a vice captain or leader on field, but he can't be the captain.
Agreed, 100%. I don't think Steve Smith should have been given the armband back. There's lots of quality individuals out there. But he, who ended up getting the captaincy for Australia? The bowler? Was it Cummins? Yeah.
Great choice.
Great choice. Fantastic choice. And Steve Smith helped him out. That's fine. I think Steve Smith realises that he blew his chance doing that. He's been given another chance to play cricket. That's his chance. So all you can do is do your best foot forward and go from there. But yeah, any leadership role, pretty big misdemeanor when you're allowing your players to sandpaper. Let's get the old grinder out there next time. Speaking of grinder, how'd you go with that app? What a segue!
What a segue! I wasn't sure who it was pointed at.
We went from James Hurd to James Hurd to grinder. Anyway, we're nearly ready to start this race. There's a 20-minute race. This is race 1. 2 races per split tonight. Well, in the Sprint Series, that is. Second race is a 40-minute reverse grid. Super little qualifying in there as well. And it is ugly livery round where not everyone has come to the party. Who would like to take the start for the first race?
I would love to hear at Paul Ricard.
Take it away, JC.
Going to be all over this one. Rob Maddox up here the front again. He's had a good end to this season too. He's currently P16 in the championship, but P2 on the grid. So it's going to be him and Peach who lead the field away. You got Peach on the right, Maddox on the left, both in disgraceful liveries. Peach has outdone himself there. Then Reece Penfold, leader of the AM class, in the bright green Lamborghini on the outside. And Brock Godfrey has had a nice late end to qualifying. He's plumped himself up there in P4. Alex Pass back there in P8, so he's got work to do if he wants to catch him Passy. But for now, down to the line we go. We await the green lights. Bang, there we go. Off we go. 2x2. Immediately, that looks like McKinn's pulls to the inside. Looks like he's going to have a little look down the inside of Penfold here. Penfold allows the door to stay open, but McKinn's tucks in behind nicely. So through turn 1, the top 10 goes safely. Bit of contact back there between the Nissan of, I think, Pass and potentially Hignett, but this is Bub now, who's chasing down Pass into the first chicane they go. Pass still right there with Bub now. 2x2 is the right way around. That rainbow looking contraption in the middle there is standing out pretty well as well. Wonder if that's Michael Manns or someone else.
No,
Who's
James.
that? Lorenz. James Lorenz. That's very bright. Down the Mistral for the first time. That cone gets abused immediately. Lorenz tucking in behind J-Rad here. Bit of Bimmer on Bimmer action for you. The weather did manage to stay away between qualifying and race, so it is nice and dry. Optimum conditions here at the world's most optimum track. Cranich, Malloy, T-Fighting all here. They're all T-Fighting for P16. Through this beautiful, long, right-handed complex, and then up here, another late apex left-hander. The radius continuing to sharpen there, and potentially too much for Cranich as he got involved in the rear end of, I think that was Lawrence. So Malloy has made it through safely. Scarney and the Mercedes there's leading them to at the moment. First lap in the books, and Peach has walked away with the lead. He's already nearly 2 seconds up the road from Maddox, who's holding off Penfold steadily. Godfrey's still here in P4, holding off McKinns, who had a nice start off the line. McKinns currently P2 in the championship. Lopano is P3, but again, it looks like Lopano is missing another round tonight, so he was absent last week at Indianapolis. That's going to hurt Lopano's chances of holding on to P3. It's Hignett in P4, so Hignett might catch him tonight. And pinch P3. Hignett currently in P7 on track at the moment. But a nice clean start for the final Season 10 Sunset race here at Paul Ricard.
Yeah, it's very clean. As you said, just a couple of the cones, yellow bollards getting absolutely destroyed, but that's always to be expected around here. Possibly a move here, McKinns heading down to scenes. Was the outside of Godfrey. That Honda just about manages to hold on the inside, and look, that's Taylor behind as well. But McKinns just has to tuck back in now. But four-way battle here, P4, 5, 6 and 7. Different lines taking as well.
Quite interesting here. Brock's actually had a great qualifying session. He's battling for Pro-Am win overall. He's fourth. He's the conductor of this train. And just behind Hignett is Pass, the one that can challenge him for the championship. But 2 races, they don't need to do anything silly. And Sneakers has skipped away 2.4 seconds. Looking for a clean sweep. We're going to have to put a ballast on him, and just him next year, next season. Going by Hignett's team name, I think that's his last race in his car.
The last voyage. Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he's going to scuttle it after the race. It's such a good word.
It's gone with the full chrome mirror livery.
Yeah, it is absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
That's worse than bad colours. I hate chrome. I don't know if anyone's aware of that. I'm pretty sure they would be.
Yeah, everyone within 10 metres of that car getting about a 30 FPS drop as well, so...
Just OP. So what you should do, everyone, is for the next endurance, obviously it's 12 hours to start, everyone use chrome liveries.
Oh, please no. That's fine. You can do that. I'll just put an X on the livery when you submit it. Hignett's going to go for the double move here. Is he going to get the room? He's not going to throw it, which is a good decision, because that always ends up badly. But
so it was Taylor who kicked all that off with a nice run up the straight behind McKinns, and then through scenes tried to hang it around the outside, and then wasn't able to keep it within limits and hold it down, so ended up losing out to not only McKinns, but then as you saw, Hignett snuck it down the inside at Verceau as well. So adventurous from Taylor to try and get the move done on McKinns, and unfortunately it's cost him a spot as opposed to grabbing him a spot. Now under pressure from Pass.
So the point situation, Godfrey's on 402. Pass is on 390, so that's 12 points. That's on net points. Overall points, Pass is 440, Godfrey's 402. So one of them's going to have a drop with their worst round being removed. So that's going to be some mathematics during the stream tonight. Might do that right now while you guys call this one.
Go and get the abacus out.
Yep. Abacus is out. All 6 of them.
Let us know in chat if you remember using an abacus back in the day. I imagine kids these days, everything's on iPads or tablets or laptops or phones or something.
No, we've still got an abacus in this house.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's used for counting. I think they just flick it around, but it's yeah, we've still got one present. Taylor again here That Honda looking really nice down the straight. Oh, and then through scenes not looking so nice. Again, Taylor hanging it out wide there. And he's going to lose out again to Hignett, who sneaks on by. So Taylor in the Honda looking really strong down the straight. But then by the time he gets to scenes, needs to get it all in order. A little bit better over the next 12 minutes, or he's going to continue to not find his way through the field here.
Alright, he gets the reverse grid as well, so you think if he can't quite pass Hignett now, he might be better off defending against him in the second race. Let's get a nice exit at the last corner there, coming the start-finish straight. Will Hignett defend, or will Taylor pick his spot? Taylor's going to go the inside as they head towards turn 1. I reckon he's close enough to send it here. Very, very conservative on the brakes. Hignett goes deep though, and Taylor should be able to get him around the outside there. And pass, getting involved in the Nissan now as well.
Oh.
Look at this.
Oh. Thought better of it. Not a great overtaking corner down there, that little right-hander there, so pass. He was in a very shallow line and he thought better of it, which has allowed him to stay in touch here, but hop behind Hignett and Taylor. This is the first time we've seen Taylor in front of this pack coming onto the straight here, so we'll see what sort of gap he creates, and then we'll see Pass, I reckon, pull up behind the Bentley as well. That Nissan also pretty strong in the straight line. Bubnell not far behind this pack either. He's a part of it, and he's in a Honda as well, so we wouldn't be surprised to see him start poking his head into the mirrors of Hignett here, as he does indeed have to allow Pass to pass on the right-hand side. Again, Taylor not meeting the apex of scenes there, so a bit of work to do on that corner, but it hasn't cost him anything on this particular lap. Got it through there facing straight. Hignett taking a very shallow line through Versailles and just a little look down the inside of Pass there, but again, thought better of it. Good driving from Hignett.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about Taylor. It'd be nice to see how many track limits people have collected already, because Taylor, like I said, he's not really troubling the apex of scenes. He's running very wide, so be something to watch towards the end of the race. As I say, Bub now here as well. Three-way battle, P789. Sean looks like it's going to go on the inside into turn 1. Honda on Bentley action. No. Has to back out of it.
It forced Hignett to go pretty deep into turn 1 though, so you've got a nice smooth exit out of turn 2, which allows him to get the run. But again, we saw Pass go down the inside here before. Has Bub now got the cojones to have a crack down there? Again, good decisions made. Bub now pulls out. Pass overcorrects a little bit through the left-hander. Hignett has to go all the way around the outside. Used plenty of real estate and now is side by side with Pass. But I get the feeling here with a Nissan and a Honda behind. You see Hignett in front of these three at the moment. I don't know if that's going to be the same order by the time we get to the end of this very, very long straight.
I reckon Sean was just a fraction too close there coming onto the Mistral straight. He would have liked to have been another metre or two back just so he got a better run and he would have had a double overtake, but as it works out he's going to get past Hignett sitting in the slipstream of the Nissan. Oh, Hignett so close under braking through scenes there. In the background there, we've got Chezran just lurking. He's gaining on these guys while they're battling.
He's been doing that all season, Chazran, just lurking around the top 10. He's had a couple of really good performances. He has finished inside the top 10 on one occasion this season, and currently sits 6 points behind the great Michael Babb. So with Babby not racing tonight, he'll pick up that spot. And Babby, I'm sure, would be more than happy to give it up to Chazran. But yeah, he's had a good season, Chazran, and on for a top 10 again here.
Oh. Paul! What have you gone and done?
What have you gone and done? What sounds are you making? What is happening?
Look at that. I can see my soul's reflection in that. Actual sick.
You know what that reminds me of? The DeLorean.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Hopefully that doesn't need roads. It can go straight off track and just disappear. Where's the Chads updated? 18th for Pethy Bridge, Sugden down in 26th. They started from the pits. Only one penalty given out so far, and that's to Robertson.
Yep, it's been a beautiful, clean start here in Paul Ricard, but of course the reverse grid always brings with it a bit of drama. Speaking of drama, Brod Godfrey hitting very wide through Bendor. Invited McKinns onto the scene a little bit here. He's having a little look around, just having a bit of a sniff in the McLaren, and oh, he's absolutely mind punted Godfrey there. Godfrey managed to keep it out of the wall. But is he going to get 2 in 1 here, I believe? I don't know if that is. Indeed, it is Penfold of the Reese varieties. That's what happened to Godfrey. It wasn't a mind putt at all. Penfold just getting the last corner wrong, and Godfrey, unfortunately, a passenger, which means McKinns goes pew-pew and picks up 2 spots in 1. So up at the P3 for Thomas McKinns.
Yeah, no Kilpano tonight. Kilpano was P3 in the championship. McKinns P2. So, one good result will stitch that up.
Ignat currently in P9. He's probably got enough in him to pinch P3 in the championship, I would assume.
Oh, close to that from Godfrey before pulling onside.
That Lambo, holy smokes. See you later.
Wow, that is quick.
Yeah, drag racing a Honda, no mean feat, so really got a low wing on that one.
It's got a bit of
Penfold.
Whoa. Oh. Brown flag there, Brock. Oh, no. Good save though.
Yeah, nice catch.
I've seen so many people snap it there. You go, snap oversteer. Moves to fight another corner. I just see pass in the background. The difference here is Godfrey missed last week, so that was his drop round. So if he has a disaster tonight, he scores those points. Whereas Pass has been very consistent this season. His lowest round was 50 points overall. So he's in a good spot, even though he's behind at the moment. That's not me trying to curse anyone either. I think JC's taken over that mantle, as there's absolute scenes back here. Yeah, mate.
JC, we got to move on, mate. We got a 4-way battle here. We can't revisit that.
We'll just leave it at what I just said. I don't think I've been cursed in a season as much as I have ever.
Yeah, the one at Monza was horrible. Oh, no. This is a good little battle here. Sean Hards involved with Lawrence there behind him in that rainbow contraption. Jesus, that stands out like dog's balls, Lawrence. That's very strong performance from you. Remfrey there as well in the bright blue machine. Not sure if that's supposed to be an ugly livery, but it's pretty nice. It's a nice shade of blue.
Brisbane Lions-esque.
Fair old amount of chrome on that one too, actually. So it's another one that looks okay from the front, but then as you start to wrap your eyes around the sides, it's getting uglier as it goes from Remfrey.
What's worse, chrome or coloured wheels?
What's worse? Oh,
it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Coloured wheels still worse. Chrome never works. Coloured wheels can work, but bad coloured wheels are way worse than bad chrome.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
We said before there weren't many penalties. There's a couple that have started to find their way onto the timing board now. So obviously the stewards taking their time deliberating on a few from the first lap, and then a few more have developed across these 20 minutes. Blink and you'll miss it. We've only got 2.5 minutes to go here. So the battle for P12. Looks like Rob Penfold up there at the moment. Unless that's Reese that's dropped back down through the field. I'm not sure. No, Reese is 72. So that is indeed Rob Penfold in P12. That'll be a great result if he can snag reverse grid pole.
Yeah, a couple of those penalties for unsafe rejoins as well. It's just something about this track and unsafe rejoins seems to happen.
Oh, don't know if I've seen one that's pretty bad. Have you, JC?
No, no. We might have to see if we can dig through the annals of history and find one.
Well, there's a few beauties from the 8 hour that we just did here the other week, so good footage from there.
I could pull that one up real quick if you like. I've got that one on my desktop. Godfrey here, looking very likely behind Reese Penfold. Reese, as we said, has already wrapped up the AM class victory for season 10. Just defending down the inside here from Brock, the Honda, really strong. Round they go through Beausset, and it looked like Godfrey was going to hang it around the outside and get it done. In fact, he still is going to have a crack. This is great battling between the two. You never really know who's going to win this one. They've swapped noses a couple of times. Reese still battling on around the outside. They give a little bit of loving to each other there. Nothing sinister whatsoever. They're still side by side. Look at them go. This is a great battle. Does Reese go into the final? He does. He goes pretty deep there.
Just a smidgen deep.
Just a little deep. And I think Brock was ready for it too, though. Brock was opening up the steering well before they got to the apex. He sort of figured that was going to happen. And Reese did the right thing. He got off the gas and allowed Brock to have it. But hats off for an excellent battle side by side through what was essentially the entire last sector as we came off of scenes.
It was a great attempt around the outside there from Godfrey. A couple of moments, he's just not been able to hold it out, but he did. He stuck it out, and then eventually he had the high ground up to the last corner, and then the rest is history.
Custard, mustard, and leotard. Exactly.
Need some more info on that. Sounds like a Saturday night for Jeep.
Well, it depends. I don't know if we can talk about more information without being demonetized.
I have seen him in a leotard. It is well worth the OnlyFans subscription.
Please share.
Yes, another top
link.
quality rotten livery from Peach. And another dominating victory here. Clean sweep. Easy as you like. The perfect season from Jean-Pierre Senekis is one race away. He's going to start P12 for the next race. He comes across and takes the checkered flag here in race 1. Rob Maddox qualified P2, came home in P2. Nicely done. And McKinn's, after a good start off the line, didn't quite get it done on the first lap, but managed to get it done in the laps afterwards. Finishes in P3. Godfrey started P4, finished P4. Penfold, Taylor, Pass, Bubnow, Hignett and Mans are going to be the top 10. And then for reverse grid pole, it looks like Rob Penfold has hung on for that reverse grid pole. Malloy, Penfold, Shazrin, Petherbridge being chased over the line here by Scarney for 15th. So a barrel of laughs and a bucket of fun. The 20-minute races go very quickly. James Lawrence crosses the line in 19th, and I think based on what I've seen, he gets my vote for the ugliest livery. There are a couple out there, but he's managed to make that BMW not only ugly, but it also stands out as ugly. So, yeah, gets my vote there. It does James.
Hard to
Oh,
disagree
late
with that.
contender here from Derek Nagel, though. Hang on a second.
Hang
Hang
on.
on, Derek.
Hang on.
Oh, no.
That is bad.
You know what would be funny if these people, like some of them are trying to have like good looking liveries and didn't know about the round, and we're like absolutely slaying them.
People don't watch the stream back. It's all good.
All right, we wait for the session to kick over.
Green light. Give it all you got.
In the meantime,
Oh, yes. Here we go.
that rejoin is probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, David.
This is off the stream,
what
so we
are
haven't
you
got a
doing?
driver's eye viewer
I
in
know
it, do
you're
we?
owned
Or-
by Paul Ricard,
That's
but
terrible.
that is a disgrace.
So how long ago
of a
was this? How
rejoin.
many seasons ago was this?
Don't know. I cannot wait to rip you a new one tomorrow night. That is not something I've ever seen you do.
This is as bad as it gets.
Recovered though.
I want to say
Recovery from
2020, maybe
It still makes me laugh.
2019.
Oh, nah, I reckon 2020. There's a couple of things on that. That's wasn't the original layout for ACC, so pre-COVID, possibly, or just as COVID started, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, around then, I reckon.
How would you describe this livery
Hey,
from
Peach, hey, T-Mac.
the Disciples of Ugly entry? Don T. Fighty's come out here with a
It looks
smooth-
baller. I love it. I actually love those wheels on it too. What's wrong with it?
Look, I don't know. I'm trying to find ways to call it ugly, but it's actually a nice shade of custard, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
it's in between colour.
it's definitely not horrible.
No. Would you agree, Bender?
I mean, it's not horrible, but it screams, hey, you know, I've had this briefcase and suit for 35 years now. I've worn it every day. I work the same office job. I'm a boring man in my 50s, you know.
Wow! Jesus!
That's what
Tell
I'm
us how you really think. Sorry, sorry, D, you there? So you can take your briefcase now to the op shop. Bender's just slaughtered it. It's got a red light on the front though. That fixes everything, doesn't it, David?
Oh, look, that makes it a little more entertaining. But it's like, yeah, you know, I'm old, but I'm trying to be hip. You know, I'm trying to be in with the kids.
Yeah, I think McLean's rejoin has surpassed Bender's, but it's just a lot easier to just rat on Bender.
Well, yeah, I mean, it helps that Jesse's not here, you know.
Yeah. Feel free to post Jesse's clip in chat. It looks like puke. Jeez.
Nah, there's
Definitely
no orange
baby
carrots
puke.
in it, though.
No, or corn. There's always corn and poop. I thought baby poop. Well, there you go, Donald. You've had your moment in the sun. It was very shady.
It is one thing I wouldn't do with that livery is leave it out in the sun for too long.
Or this
Put your
one.
sunglasses on before looking at this one.
This one might start a fire with the reflections. Park this in a rainforest and you got a bushfire. Oh no, I can't do it. I just can't look at it. That's better. Pit lane. Let's have a look at Brown Paul Ricard. We've been here for a special event pretty recently. I never got to look inside these rooms.
Oh yeah, some nice paintings. seem to be the same
That's
painting in every
sus.
room.
Multiple copies of the same painting. What it is.
Who owns the NFT? That's the question.
Is there a windsock somewhere? Surely there's there's the old 0 kilometre wind and the windsock's going full beans. No, that's pretty still. I reckon that's all right for 0 kilometres.
Is it?
That's
They-
a little bit of
they're
movement
waving
there.
a little.
Oh, there's a little bit of movement, but it's never going to be dead still, is it?
No, it should be. 10 out of 6.
Yeah, see.
I don't know if we'll ever see the updated Paul Ricard pit entry. They've built a bridge over here if you're unawares. They've closed this little car park entrance. What's longer, Mistral or this runway? Mistral. Oh, jeez, Mistral's long. That puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is massive.
Stands out too.
If you left the track a little bit further, David, you would have ended up on the runway. You have all this run up, and then you can rejoin down here.
Homing missiles have been activated.
Whoops. Now, the F1 series is off to Miami on Sunday. A very new circuit. Love it or hate it. I reckon it'd be pretty fun in these cars, in the GT3s. Bit of Macau vibes in some sections.
I'm curious to know if you do love it or hate it.
Me, myself, it's actually grown on me. Not as much as Saudi Arabia has. I really like Jeddah. But ask me at about 8 o'clock on Sunday night and I'll give you my honest opinion on it. It wasn't
Sorry.
great fun to do to qualification on though. It was a grind.
Did the words Saudi Arabia, Jeddah has grown on me all in the same sentence leave your mouth, Sen?
And confirm.
Did you
Well, what are you talking about? It's a rubbish track.
It's amazing.
Garbage.
I had so much fun last season in that track.
It's the worst temporary track they've ever built.
Worse than Las Vegas car park.
That's going to be bad, but that's not a temporary track. So
It's a permanent joke.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, I really like Jeddah. I didn't think I was going to. Then we did the race there, and it just, I don't know, it just has a little bit something else.
I played it in F1 Manager. I was disappointed that there were no red flags because of missile strikes in the game. Kind of ruined my immersion.
There's plenty of time for that. No, it's just a little bit different. Sector 3 is a bit, yeah, but it does have a lot of overtaking opportunities and chances to lose your wing. And Sector 1's pretty technical. And
Is this back to Miami now, you mean?
no, this is Jeddah.
Oh.
Sector 3 in Miami's just
Garbage.
stupid. I don't like the corner before the straight.
Yeah, that little left under the bridge onto the back straight is just.
It just
Who
reeks of
designed that?
disaster in a race.
Yeah, I can't imagine, like, especially lap 1 or safety car restarts after. I mean, the field hopefully has spread out enough that by the time we get to that, it doesn't cause too many issues. But yeah, it's going to be chaos, and I'm all for content, but I don't think
At
it's
least
gonna
with the
be pretty.
castle section of Baku, which is it kind of reminds me of a little bit. You feel more, I don't know, comfortable going through there, and you can. And your car's not that unstable. You either bin it into the wall, or you're fine. Whereas at Miami, you're going to hit the apex too much. You're going to bottom out. You're going to spin. You're going to clip the outside wall. You're going to take out half the field. I don't know. I think you're going to see a big incident there on Sunday.
Yep.
I'm just hoping it's not in my tier. Tier 3, you know what to do.
that isn't take Bender out, then I've never heard that before.
I'm also a little bit concerned about what sort of broadcast cameras it's going to give us. I remember at Jeddah we were complaining about the cameras because it's a new track and they just hadn't quite
Put in the
got
right spot.
cameras right
Yeah.
yet. So I don't know if that's going to
Flat.
be the case at Miami as well. But Miami should be a better looking track than Jeddah. Even though Jeddah's surrounded by big, beautiful buildings and whatnot, Miami, I think, should be...
It'll be better, I think. With Jeddah, the issue is that it's such a flat-out fast track and like just long sections where it's harder to place the camera in certain spots because you're not getting that slow, progressive cornering. Sector 1, there's a few things that are in the way, so it's that why it wasn't great. You'd think Miami was, because the way it's been constructed, to be set up a bit better. I can't remember what the broadcast was IRL, but... Oh, does it have the fake marina in the game? Surely.
Pretty sure it would.
Because
Well,
that was
the main
baffling.
broadcast.
That was baffling. Like, why did they even need it?
Because Florida.
I do like the old school Miami colours and that. It's pretty cool. Starsky and Hutch era, is it? I can't remember. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And what's after that? I think we're off to Singapore. We missed that last season.
Be another one before. I think there's a couple of weeks break before Singapore now. Because they've got a gap of where the Russian Grand Prix was going to be, but that's been cancelled and they didn't fill it, so...
We'll triple check our calendar. Yeah, Baku would be a great circuit to race in GT3s. Alright, I just wish there was a platform where you could race all these circuits on. We need licensing and all that crap.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't that kind of what iRacing was supposed to be, but isn't really that anymore because of licensing?
Yeah, to a degree. I don't mind paying for DLC or anything that content that you purchase and that you get to keep and use. But I'd never thought it should be behind a subscription firewall or paywall. So AMS is releasing a lot of stuff. Maybe AC2 is going to get some more licensing for things. It's sad to see Project Cars 1 and 2 losing their licensing, so you can't purchase that in the future. I think it's maybe from this month onwards, maybe next month. But if you already own the game, you can play it afterwards. Running to fuel at the end, says Don. The old mustard bus. Not mustard. No, is it mustard? What did we decide the colour it was?
Yeah, I think we said mustard.
Jan reckons it's caramel. I reckon that's a good shout. But I really love caramel, so I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I like the livery, so I'll say it's caramel.
30 seconds.
Miami was fun in V8s, Mo. When and where did we race it in V8s?
20 seconds.
Congrats to J-Rad for picking up the Best of the Rest award here. Qualified
10
on
seconds.
pole. But of course, we'll start from P13 as the reverse grid is called through, which will be led by Rob Penfold. So the safety car will come on through, and then our beautiful race director will call out the 12 through 1 positions from the previous race. Rob Penfold will start from the front of the field. Here he comes to line up for the final time this season behind the beautiful Janetta. The final time for Split Sunset, of course. We've got Ascari and Beckett's coming at you tomorrow night.
What did you think of my race start on Sunday?
We missed it. We
Oh,
saw,
can't
obviously,
believe
that
it.
you jumped up a
Can't
whole handful of
believe it.
positions, but we didn't actually see how you managed to part the seas.
17th to 9th, and I didn't leave the track.
So it was because everyone else did leave the track and you just
Nah.
had the track to yourself?
No,
It was
I've been
incredible.
getting
It's not
good
the
jumps. I've been getting great jumps off the
Yeah,
line
it's
at
not
the
the first
start.
time this season you've done that. You managed to do it at almost every race where you have an amazing start.
But the
Grab
thing
seven.
was, I said to Franco before the race started, I go, I'm not going to try and gain positions here at turn 1 Monza because I'm 17th. I'll just pick my battles. I saved sets of tyres. I didn't really go hard in qualifying for the race. And opportunity presented itself. One car didn't move. Franco missed the start. And then there was all these cars going slow. And I'm like, if I go slower, it's going to cause an incident. So I just sent it. And there was a couple of little wheel bangs in the front of me. And I'm like, oh, I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, thanks for that. I'm like, are they watching this? Because it looks like if they just look and they haven't seen what's happened, they probably thought I cut turn 1. I can't wait to watch it replay back when I get a chance. A very interesting race. I enjoyed the endurance rounds. My legs, probably not as much.
But no, that's it. That's why they're endurance rounds. And we love calling them too. It really gives us a chance to settle in. And
Did you know how many safety cars you had for all the splits?
oh,
I think we had 6 or something, maybe.
it was 7 in Tier 2. Tier 3 probably had 4 or 5. And I think Tier 1 only had 2 or 3. Tier 1 was pretty clean.
Yeah.
But it was a lot for Tier 2.
Oh, I managed to get it up the front. I hadn't mounted my pedal plate. I'd been trying to get it in the right spot because when you move your rig anywhere, and if you're moving house, half the battle is setting it back up the way it was, like getting it feeling perfect, and that's what I've been trying to do for the last few days. And I moved my pedal mount and it felt good, but I forgot to tighten it up. So every safety car, I'd actually be going under my feet and using my hand to like hand tighten it. And I forgot on the last safety car and it slipped forward a little bit and I went deep under brakes. And then I just dropped it on the curb. I'm like, I can't even explain that. But yeah,
sad.
Shit happens.
We missed that on stream as well, but I did watch back Decker's stream and he caught it because he was right behind you there in P3 or something.
Oh, shout out to Suma and Decker's great battling. Anyway, let's go. David, call the start.
All right, here we
No
go.
pressure.
So the line's getting a little. It starts to come out the last corner, but it will be a delayed start, of course, waiting for lights to go green.
They are nicely bunched just quietly. That front 6, holy smokes.
Wow, yeah, that is tight.
That's awesome.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Still waiting, and we're off and away. We go 40 minutes of the reverse grid, and they're already going 3 wide, possibly 4 wide. And turn 1 pass, having a look in the Nissan there, don't squeeze through. Plenty of 3 wides, 4 wides towards the back, but it's all clean up the front so far. Someone's running over the little track cut bollards on the outside there.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's Godfrey on Taylor.
But, yeah, everything's still clean as we head to the turn 3, 4, 5 complex onto the back straight. Different lines through here as well. But most people sort of tucking in now, only a couple of side by side. Maddox here, P11. Hard to see where JP is. I think he's P10 on the timings. That is very wide there from. Oh no, John! John
massive
ran
depth.
no!
Oh my God. No.
Why was he staying out that side? That's
Massive
just
depth.
silly.
He hit the wall so hard.
And deserved it.
How that's only cleaned up a couple of cars, I don't know. The whole field should have wrecked on that one, I reckon. But
Dante Fighty looks to
High
have
on.
been the passenger there who arrived on the scene first, so he just hit him. He hit him hard. That was a big one.
this though, almost 3 wide into scenes.
The scene's alright, that's for sure.
Absolute scenes. Oh, there it is. The 3 wide comes
Oh,
together,
no.
and they've made a car park, and now there's death.
No.
People slowing down, cars everywhere off the track, and
They'll get it going again.
they're all spinning around, but someone's lost out.
Safety car remains in the pit lane, so they carry on.
Should have used it.
But it's been much more of a chaotic start to this race than it was for the start of race 1.
Oh, we love the reverse grid races, mate.
Yeah,
Always a bit of chaos.
So So yeah, teetering on the edge of safety car use there, but the race director has decided to put that card away. There's a couple of cars who will have to visit the pit lane, unfortunately, due to some massive collisions on that first lap, so it's knocked out any chance they have.
Yeah, I think the safety car should have been called in, but we soldier on. You see there's four cars in the pits. 3 cars in the pits, 2 cars in the pits. That 712 car is not going to be healthy. Was that possibly T-Fighty?
Yeah, I think
There
it
you
was.
go, 3 wide
It is
again.
3 wide.
Let's go again.
Alex pass on the inside. Gets
Malloy
it done.
in the middle.
Oh
Mars on the
no!
left.
Oh no! What are you doing? That is. Oh my goodness.
That's knowing your limits. I guess he knew he was in front and went to open up the corner, but yeah, very dangerous.
That is my pet peeve when people do that. Now, obviously, you got to judge it finally, but people don't always judge it finally, and then it just kicks off behind, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, look at this gaggle of cars. Rob Penfold going wide through Bousset, so he's lost a couple there. Pass moves up the P2. And Malloy followed him through, so Malloy in the green. Aston Martin there is in P3. And now Penfold's had to file into P4 there. Hignett leads the way at the moment. He's creating a bit of a gap for himself. But back here, P4 through to P12 is separated by no more than a French baguette.
A baguette.
I'm now looking to get one done on Penfold as well. Oh, that was deep from Michael Manns down there in a turn 1. He did God's work and pulled it out and sent it wide. He's going to lose a whole heap of positions, but goodness me, he did well to get out of the back of Penfold there. Very deep from Michael Manns.
Almost an aeroplane crash, that one. Speaking of championships, though, Haas up in second. Godfrey down in 18th. Maybe Mr. Statsman Mullet, you can give us a quick picture of what that will do for the championship at this early stage of the race.
That is a great question. I will touch base in a sec.
This is interesting here too. So you got Peach here in P7, and I reckon this might be the first time we've seen this season Penfold on Penfold. So Rob currently in P5 after starting from P1, and you got Reese Penfold there, our AM class winner, who's got Peach on his outside. So Peach makes a Jeep sandwich with the 2 Penfold loaves on the outside. Peach down the inside there. Rob just opens that door nice and wide for Peach, who himself runs pretty wide, yeah. So obviously a bit of a warning there. Oh, Peach is going to be sideways here through Bousset. Does he manage to hang on to it? He's done so well there, really, to avoid not only spinning, but staying out of the side of Penfold, who retakes that position. I say retakes, that's actually Reese, who's made up 3 spots in the last couple of corners. So Reese now up into P5, Seneca's behind him, and then that'll be Maddox behind Peach, who's following him through the field. But that was a great save there from Jeep Sneakers.
It was a great save. I mean, for me, I'm just wondering, obviously it's very difficult when the cars are this close, but you go for the move and then you run off a track like that and you take a track cut warning, surely you have to cede the position back, right?
I think you already had the move done.
Yeah.
I think you already had the move done, though.
Already had the move done? Okay.
Yeah. The reason why he ran a little bit too wide there is because
tricky,
he limited his turning because he took such a narrow line at the end of Mistral. Like, he just couldn't quite pin it. And yeah, I see what you're saying is he wouldn't have been able to maybe keep the move going wide like that. But I think he just took a bit more of a glorious outside approach because he probably had it done and he wanted to be safer with the car. He could have actually probably turned in sharper, but yeah, I think we give that one the benefit of the doubt. I want to watch the replay back at the start, but firstly, I'm just going to have to quickly check who win Weathers Pass 7th and 4th. Carry on.
Roger that. Carry on, Ben Hignett. He's had a great start to this race. Leading the way out the front by 2 seconds from pass at the moment. This is Senekis again up in the scenes and down the inside of one of the Penfolds. So that's Reese. He gets this time. It was Rob on the previous lap. So Seneka's up to P5 now. And he's only got his Kovacs teammate Bub now in front of him. And then Malloy, Pass and Hignett to get through in the next half an hour and claim this perfect season that I'm sure he is coveting.
And just going, that we've seen in chat there, car 14, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is J-Rad for the lap 1 collision. He's been given a hefty whack, a stop-go 10-second penalty by the stewards.
I am glad to see the hefty whacks have come out this season.
Oh, that's Shazran. Not bad. So
Shazran?
J-Rad's 99, okay.
Ooh.
Apologies, J-Rad.
Naughty boy, Shazran.
That's like we haven't seen that.
If I'm going to guess, it's for dangerous driving. That's without saying anything.
It just says causing a collision is what we've been told.
Right, yeah, so he's been in the wars a little bit this season, Shazran. Oh, down the inside there from, that is J-Rad, your man, Bender, and Michael Mann's doing battle. And Kranich not far behind there in that bloody hideous mirror. Oh, speaking of, oh, goodness me.
Did all right though, he straightened it back up. That's part of the...
Godfrey drive-through. Godfrey drive-through. That is huge for this Pro-Am Championship.
Oh, what's the drive-through for, Godfrey?
Gonna,
Is that for track
gonna
limits
guess
or for
track
something
limits.
else? That's early track limits. That's only 9 minutes in. That is huge.
Don't want to call it too early, but that's called bottling it.
It was indeed for causing a collision via dangerous driving, so you might be right. Null, your call might be spot on. Fire Lord confirming it was dangerous driving. Although to receive any penalty, you've probably had to have driven dangerously. Bub now doing God's work there, towing Senekis all the way up and then allowing his teammate through. So Senekis has moved up to P4. This is the battle for P6 we're watching here. Maddox and Penfold. Rob Penfold, after starting from P1, finds himself in P11 now, so just not quite had the start he wanted in the first 15 minutes of this one. Sorry, 10 minutes. So he's back there battling with Kranich and Manns, who we saw get involved in each other's business in the first sector. But Reese Penfold, your AM class winner for this season, is trying to find his way past Maddox here, but Maddox has had a really strong night tonight and a really strong end to this season. He's got his head around that BMW in the latter part of this season and qualified P2 for the last race and is now trying to follow Peach through the field here. So it's a Kovacs 4, 5, 6 at the moment. Bub now was willing to let Senekis through, I would imagine, on his chase for that perfect season, but I don't think he'll be so kind to Maddox. I think there'll be a bit of battling that goes on between Bub now and Maddox if indeed they two catch up to each other. And Reese Penfold won't be too far behind them. Senekis looks like he's got another one done here. That's Malloy. He checks him off the list. Only 10 minutes down and Senekis is already up into P3. So it's a 3-second gap now to pass. So we'll see how quickly he can reel that in. And then another 3-second gap up to Hignett. So with the purple lap, Senekis, you'd think it's a foregone conclusion. He is flying along. He's in a rich vein of form.
Well, I mean, in this it's no slouch down the straight, so that might be make things a little bit tougher, but yeah, you'd certainly think JP would be able to pass. Forward with McKinn's here, going in the last corner, lining up Taylor, switch back, but can't let that happen. Drive for that Honda. So hopefully see where Godfrey comes out. There's P23 after the drive-through, so Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we find out the stats on where he needs to get up to, and if anyone else is going to get penalties in between that may or may not help him.
If things stay the way they are, Pass will end up in 481 points, Godfrey 450.
Whoa.
So it is in big trouble, is Mr. Godfrey, after that drive-through.
All right, so where does he need to get to? What position? Are we talking top 10, 12?
Well, he needs to gain 32 points to overtake him. His 23rd is 8 points. To get that 31, he needs to move up to 4th.
4th? Oh, jeez, that's a tough
Got a
ask.
long way to go. So that's
Sorry,
with
I take that back. He's 7th. 7th will get him 31 exactly to tie it up. So
Right.
7th is where he aims at. But that's if Pass finishes 2nd. So let's assume JP overtakes you and gets another position. So he'll drop down to 3rd, which means Godfrey needs 21 points, which is P10.
Ooh.
So that does
That's
spice
more
it
in
up a little
play.
bit more.
It's more in play, P10. Tough ask, but
It's still a
25
long way to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the scene for you for the Pro-Am Championship.
For JP to win it, he needs to finish minus... No, for JP to lose it, he needs to finish minus 627th.
Yes, I needed to retire 3 races ago.
Well, I said Bub now was going to have to defend from Maddox, but it looks like Malloy has snuck up there into P5, so has clearly got one done on Maddox, or Maddox has made a small error, which has seen him fall behind this bright green Aston Martin. So Bub now still holding firm there in P4, having a good drive so far. And you would suspect with the power of the Honda, as long as he gets the entry here onto the straight pretty well done, he'll be nice and safe up in the scenes. But I wouldn't say the same for Malloy, who is under all sorts of pressure now from Maddox. Malloy asks him to go around the outside. Maddox obliges pretty comfortably. So that BMW not slow in a straight line today. Into P5, sorry, for Maddox. Malloy slips back to P6. Reece Penfold still thereabouts. You see him hanging around out the back there in P7. Just sniffing around. Staying close by. Keeping an eye on proceedings up in front. Beautiful corner.
Vicious move up the inside by Reece Penfold there. Caught Zach napping a little bit, I reckon. Just taking that wider line.
Yeah, he certainly forced open the door there a little bit, but whether or not he was up alongside enough will allow the stewards to make the call there. So let's go. What happened, Shazrin? What did you do, naughty boy? Let's go back and check out why this man has been given a severe stop-go penalty. Oh, okay. That's why, yeah. So,
If I say anything there, just all you need to do is just roll off the throttle and just try and get back on the track. Staying in that position is endangering the other cars around you, which is exactly what it did.
Yeah, well, we saw that a few times in the Enduro as well. People going out there, even in the wet, which I thought was just insane.
And even with a limited amount of curb.
Yeah, that caught several people out.
That actually caught more people out than the end of Mistral did.
That's just bizarre. The fact that a straight piece of track with a slight bump has caught more people out than the end of Mistral going through scenes.
G'day, Moritz. How are you, sir? So, Sneakers has got past Alex Pass. Not in the Haas. So, Pass drops down. Godfrey needs 21 points. And that's a little touch. That's a drive-by. Zach Malloy, great save, though.
Yeah, great save.
Would have been puckered up. Godfrey is 16 seconds behind 20 seconds, so it's It's going to be a hard ask. He's going to need something to happen to Alex up in P3. Alex has 4.1 seconds on his next opponent, which is Sean Bubb now. And he's driving beautifully. This is what I was saying about the drop round. Because Godfrey missed last week, he gets a 0 for his drop round. So he's got no wiggle room at all. Whereas Pass's worst round has so far been a 50-point round. And that was at, let me just check. USA round 2. So that would have been Watkins Glen. So he's had a stellar season. Even though Godfrey, every single round he's competed in, he's been in the top 10. That drop round is very important. Maddox. He's had an interesting season. When he's out there and having a good race, it's very high up the grid. When he's having a bad race, she's very low down the grid. So he's had 3 podiums, 4 top 10s in his 6 rounds. Whereas say JP's had 7 wins, 7 podiums, 7 top 10s.
7 fastest laps?
5 fastest laps. Can you tell me the other 2? Both of them aren't racing tonight, if that's a big indicator.
What, Clapano?
Yep,
would be one of them.
Clapano had one. That would have been at Kailami. Oh no, 3 wide here. Can't go wrong.
No.
Why not? Let's go, gents. Wow, they've done very well there.
Sorted it out nicely.
And that's the corner where it normally comes undone.
Not as nicely.
So Bob now's going to lose out nearly 3 positions in 2 corners. He's going to fight back here.
Yeah.
He's showing a lot of pace though, Paul Ricard. Oh, he's just had to back off there, which is a good decision.
Nice
Gets a good
shallow
run.
line through there though.
Honda v Honda.
Oh, Bub now's just being bodied here. He's had a couple of whacks from a couple of different drivers.
And down.
So might be seeing a little bit of red mist now, Sean Bubb. Now I hope he keeps it together. He's going to go side by side down to turn 1. This is still Honda on Honda action. Taylor and Bubb now.
Up ahead, passes extended it to 5.7 seconds. Head of P3, so there's a bit of a wobble.
Yeah, that was coming.
Velasquez, he'd be the other one, wouldn't he?
Yes, that's correct. Velasquez
Okay,
had
God.
fastest lap last week at Indianapolis. There've been 4 different pole sitters. JP's had 4 of them. Who are the other 3? Fair.
Drivers.
Velasquez, Clapano, and...
Yep. Who's the other one?
Are they racing tonight?
They certainly are.
Ignat?
Not Hignett.
Oh, McKinn.
No hints. Yes, that's correct. It's McKinn's.
Johnny Boy's in chat saying that Kins turned his car off at the start of this one, which is not the first time he's done that this season.
Bold
So
strat.
McKinn's hit the ignition and fell to the back of the field. So he's come from, he's come from the very back and he's up there in P7. Oh,
That
who's
is
that out
wide.
there?
Chad.
Petherbridge. Getting a bit of help there. Bit of unwanted help.
We also just noted that the stewards handed Paul Kranich a 10-second penalty for that incident with Michael Manns a couple of laps ago that we saw, as Nagel was off in the sticks there.
Yeah, not moving either. I don't know if he's another one who's hit his ignition and can't find it or what, but he's...
It's in the pits now.
So this sense of inevitability closes in as Senekis has wound down this gap quick as you like. He's come from P12. He has dispatched all competitors on his way to P2. He holds the purple lap yet again. We are only 12 minutes into this one, and he has moved up 12 positions once he's gone past Benjamin Hignett here. Benjamin, I'm sure, will defend with gusto, but Seneca's got a nice run out of there, and you would think that this is the move. Around the outside. Jeep Sneakers up into P1.
As far as the Beamer's been able to just pull away from the Bentley like that.
The Bema.
You want to get one's a boat, one's a Bema.
The fight for Pro-Am is now 20 points of difference. Godfrey's up to 22nd. Pass is in P3. Still looking like he should be able to get home pretty easily, Alex. Godfrey's going to pick up P21 based on that penalty to Robinson. But to make up an extra 20 points, he needs to finish, yes, 9th, I think. Yeah, he's got 9 points now. He needs to finish 39. 8th. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Pass can hang on for a podium?
I reckon unless something goes wrong for him.
He's
I
had
reckon
one
he'll
podium this
be-
year, and that was at Australia in Mount Panorama, round 4. That was his best result. Godfrey's had a podium this year, and it was actually the first race of the year at Kyalami.
Here we go now, we'll see if Ben Hignett can fight back against JP. Still minor corrections coming onto the Mistral, that's not what he needs.
Come on,
So,
JP, let someone else win.
all the suck.
Nah, none of that, Peach. Dominate proceedings. Perfect season, mate.
As if he's going to let anyone win.
No, as you said, what do we
Bentley's
do to him next season
horrible.
if he's been on drugs this season? He's way too quick. Gonna have to ballast him. Gonna give him a 10-place grid penalty every race or something. But he started P12 here. That didn't stop him. So I don't know what you can do.
Christopher Taylor's picked up a drive-through. I'm going to guess track limits. Could be another position for Godfrey, potentially. Greenwich now 20 seconds of penalties. So there's a few positions for Godfrey to grab, but he's going to need to get himself in that top 10 if Pass is going to stay where he is. That's a send.
Oh, how is that in contact? Wow.
Good heads-up driving there by Mans.
Branich already with 20 seconds of penalties has no fear. That was a ripper of a send. How there wasn't contact there, I will never know.
That's the definition of just gonna send it.
Scani, here he is. I don't know if he's gone for an ugly livery here because that's pretty nice there on the
Nah,
Mercedes.
horrible.
He's made his way past Remfrey. It's only the coloured rims that are stopping that livery from being pretty good from Scani.
Yeah, but that's what makes something ugly. You could have the most amazing body in the world, but if your face looks like a bucket of smashed crabs, you're deemed ugly. So,
Speaking from experience, mate.
oh yeah, no busted thong. Those non-Australians in the chat, that means you're ugly, and there's nothing wrong with being ugly.
Just you do you.
You just
out
do
there.
you.
If you're ugly, you do you and you own it.
Nah, that's an ugly that's an ugly saying.
You're one of your pet favourites, mate.
I think that makes someone uglier.
Oh, I don't need to worry about that.
Oh, you're beautiful, mate.
Is that you do you or own it? I say you do you all the time. Are you saying you do? Is that
It's
you're not
you
a fan
do
of that
you.
one?
Yeah, Malik hates it.
Really? I say that all the time. You should have
Lamest-
told me that.
Well, if you're a pedophile and that's your thing, don't do you. Dumb saying. Be yourself? Is that enough? I don't know. Live, laugh, love, or whatever that is. That is also dog shit.
He's just come out swinging here for the final round.
Speaking of swinging, this is not going to end well. 3 heading down the
Three
end of
wide.
Mistral. Managed to sort it out a little bit. Oh, there's a worse saying. I can't think of it now.
Well, don't want to give him any airtime, but I saw, I guess, inclusivity gone wrong the other day. They were calling pedophiles child-attracted persons, and I'm like, no, let's just call it how it is, please. Please, let's not be silly. But the world is going mad sometimes.
Oh, it's gone mad. It's lost.
Yeah, I don't know, Fire Lord. I've lost control in here, mate.
Oh dear. Yeah. It is what it is.
Exactly. What it is.
Miss Tully knows. Oh, that's exactly right. Dumb saying.
That's one of my favourites too. That's almost top of my list. I'm learning a lot of things tonight.
If someone's just T-boned you at an intersection and it's their fault, we're just going to get out and go, it is what it is. Or you do you. You keep T-boning people, champion. I know it's obviously context and it applies to certain situations, but it's still a funny saying.
No, of course. No, it's I'm being enlightened here. Up the inside, McKinns and Penfold. Good racing from these two all season, just quietly. So you would think they get this done pretty cleanly. McKinns up into P5 from the back of the field. I remind you, after turning his ignition off on the formation lap again. Where did he do that originally? I think it was Kyle Army at the start of the season. John might remind me of when that exactly was the first time McKinns did that.
Yeah, only dickheads turn the car off at Paul Ricard. Says me, who did it in P3 on Mistral. Oh, that was a sad time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Is that a good saying? Good saying, bad saying? I like it.
Pretty neutral. But once again, it depends on the context. A lot of these depend on the context.
Yeah, maybe being at the Queen's Memorial is not a good time to say it.
No,
See what I mean?
don't-
Yeah,
don't.
makes sense. It is what it is. Not a good saying in that situation either. What I found pretty fascinating since the Queen's sad passing is how polarising we are as people when it comes to having our opinions on it. Like, you might not support the Royals, you may support the Royals, but someone's just passed away. Like, is now the time to vent your opinions on it?
Well, I mean,
Like,
that's the thing. Like, I guess obviously she represents a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but the part that I guess doesn't sit right with me is at the end of the day, she is someone's mum, someone's grandma, someone's auntie. You know, how would you feel if that was people slagging off your auntie or grandma or mother on social media just because they were a prominent public figure? You wouldn't
definitely.
particularly like it. So,
and you think about how the world was 70 years ago when it comes to what we accept and what values are and what's important. So, like, she's had to go through the whole thing. It wouldn't be easy. Obviously, she hasn't got it all right, but she's still only human. Well, I would assume she was human. She may not have been alive for the last 20 because she was a robot, but...
and even then, I think just the circumstances of her role, you think she was working up until the day she died.
Yeah.
Just 2 days before she was swearing in or meeting the new Prime Minister. You think, well, most people at 96 would have already carked it or been in a nursing home or something and retired 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I'm not going to see 96. And I don't know if I want to see 96.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if I want to either. Like at that point, if you can't really do much, what's the point?
Imagine calling a race in OOR at 96. And it's John Seneka's P1. And it's John Seneka's P1. Imagine Joe Biden, sad that we have to watch that as it happens. The poor man has dementia and is trying to run a country publicly. Imagine him commentating.
Is that car 44? Have they won the race already, have they? I thought we were only on lap 7.
Yeah, it's
That's what it would be
Dementia
like.
is a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah, it got pretty ugly.
I wish I had dementia from one of my races early in the year, but same time, I wish I don't, because that is, it's a horrible thing. You don't want any of your loved ones to have dementia and all that. But yeah, to watch it firsthand, someone having public speeches and getting lost mid-conversation is, it's hard not to sort of be humoured by it, but at the same time you feel really bad for them because it's a health condition.
Yeah, I mean, my mum's dad, he had dementia. He passed away almost 20 years ago now, but at the end he thought he was in England. And so he's out here in Australia, and he was just terrified of leaving bedroom because he didn't recognise his own house. And you think, how sad's that? So yeah, dementia's not fun at all.
Not good.
I think John sums it up well in chat. You don't have to like someone to not be a dick about it. I think that sums it up perfectly.
Oh, exactly. If you don't like someone, then just don't associate yourself.
Just don't be a dick about it to other people who perhaps do like the Queen.
Yeah, I was watching the footy on Saturday night at my dad's house, and Dad had a visitor over, and there was a heated debate at the end between someone he had over and his wife. She's pro-royal and he was anti-royal. I'm like, why are you having this conversation? Just, who gives a shit? So I went home. Happy though, because my team won, but...
Yeah, you're going back to sayings we like and we don't like. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
Yep.
I think is one that my
That's a
mum
good
taught
saying.
me. And I don't necessarily follow that as religiously as I'd like to sometimes. But every time that I do, some of the good results that come from that. So.
Was that a laugh or a scoff?
Yeah, little scoff in the background from the wife. You caught that one.
At a half's got you figured out, mate.
You could hear the scoff. I could hear the eyes rolling through the back of her head.
Chad Sugden on the inside of, I want to say Rob Penfold here. Into scenes, gets it done nicely. It's J-Rad up on this group as well now.
Godfrey update. Still 22nd pass in P4. So Maddox has got pass, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so let's change that. I'll just update my little standings I got here.
Pass in a nice spot now, though. He's 3 seconds up the road, and he's 3 seconds either side of any car. So he's just got to bring it home over the next 4 minutes and
10
enjoy
points.
the chocolates.
10 points separate them.
I think Godfrey's going to get a few positions on some penalties there, but I don't think that'll be enough for him.
So where's Godfrey at the moment? He is 22nd. He needs 10 points. He needs to finish 12th to tie. And I don't see that happening.
Yeah, it's more about what happens to Pass than happens to Godfrey
Yep,
at this
exactly.
point. So as long as Pass can bring it home safely, and as I said, because he's not battling with anyone at the moment, he's got nice gaps on either side of him, just driving around by himself at the moment. So this is McKinn's, who's 1.6 seconds back from the man.
So any position drop here from Pass is only 3 points, whereas those 3 positions there, second, third, fourth, is 10 points separating those ones. So there's not as big penalty if he does lose another position. But let's just say he finishes, let's say 5th. He'll pick up 37 points. 7 points ahead. Godfrey needs to move up to 15th. So it wants to be close, but still Passes in control with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, just a bit of breaking news. People might like this. Sebastian Vettel announces that he's going to compete in the Race of Champions again at the end of this year. So that'll be his first official race after retiring from Formula One.
What? The Race of Champions? What's that?
So it's an annual event. Although this year they had it at the start of the year as well as the end of the year because of COVID. They basically get different drivers from all over the world from different nationalities. They have two competitions. One is a team competition where you drive different cars. So you get KTM crossbows, all sorts of different...
Shout out Pascal Wheeline.
Yeah, Pascal Wehrlein, all sorts of like stock cars, rally cars, and you go over like a short mini circuit, usually in a stadium, and just a knockout format for the countries, and then they have one for individual drivers. So you get rally drivers, Indy drivers, F1 drivers, supercar drivers, just all competing in different cars that none of them are used to driving on a mini circuit in a stadium and seeing who's the best.
Oh, a bit of a good driver potluck. Is that they stream that somewhere or broadcast it on something, or is it on Foxtel?
It's broadcast. Not sure on what these days.
SBS.
Highlights usually pretty popular on YouTube, so...
Yeah, right. No, I've never heard of that. I might go check out a past
around
event on YouTube or something.
It's going to be, I think, in Sweden or somewhere, so they'll be doing a snow circuit, which will be quite interesting.
Is that the in the KTM Expo where Wehrlein nearly broke his neck? Put it in a fence? Was it that one? He got beaten by maybe a esport driver?
I think so, yeah. They have had some esport drivers in there the last couple of years.
And they go alright.
Yeah, the surprising one is usually the rally drivers. You know, the Swedes or the Finns they get in. They're always usually pretty quick throwing a car around a short circuit in a stadium.
Just keeping my eye on this battle at the moment. If these two come together, it may bring Godfrey a little bit closer, but you can see Kranich is a 20-second penalty, but he's not close enough to that. Same with T5 is 10 second. Same with Graham's 10 second. So at the moment he's only really going to gain one position, which won't be enough. As I say that, John Rad picks up a drive-through with 1 second to go in the race. So that's a 30-second penalty if he doesn't serve it. You're doing so well.
And this is the last lap as well.
The leader is not too far away. He's just around the corner and he's going to pick up a clean sweep of the season. He's won every single race. It won't be the Grand Slam though, Bender, because he hasn't got every single pole position. He hasn't got every single fastest lap, which isn't good enough really.
He didn't lead every single lap either, so it's alright.
But well done, JP. Picks up another win here, this time at Paul Ricard, and finishes off a stellar season as the Split Sunset champion. Hignett P2, Maddox P3. Maddox has had a great second half of this race, flying through the field. Pass hangs on for fourth, and I think Pass has done enough here to pick up the Pro-Am Championship with that result. Just trying to flick through. Rad, yeah, he won't serve that, but we'll soon see how it plays out. I think Godfrey may finish about 21st, 20th, which isn't enough. Reece Penfold, 72 car. He's going to win the AM Championship. Pretty much had it in the bag before the race started. Nice battle here to the finish line. Rad leads the way, so that DT will turn into a 30-second, as you can see there. Taylor crosses the line. Unfortunate for Godfrey, he did miss one race, but that was last week. So his drop round was 0 points. So he didn't have any other... Oh, that's a very wide angle through there. Playing with the drive-through himself. Already served one this race. Ugly livery award goes to Lorenz for me. Is he still even out there? He's already left the server. Can't even show it. No, take that back. He didn't win.
Well, Nagel was a very close P2, and I don't think he's still here either.
No, he's gone. So, Senekas wins that too. Why not? Just give it to him as well.
Just give it to me.
He's won everything else.
Won everything else. Fair enough.
Yeah, see Godfrey's sadness in... Oh, that just doesn't sum up his last race. I don't know what will. As we wait for the thing. Just want to finalise where Godfrey finished. I don't want to replay because that would have been the worst replay ever.
It would have been nice looking at the pit lane.
21st still. Is that right?
Yeah, he was 23rd or 22nd or something. You said he was going to move to 21st.
Oh, yep, somewhere, yep. 21st. J-Rad's 32nd, doesn't drop him below him. He's there. And they were the worst donuts I've ever seen. So well done everyone in Split Sunset. Fantastic season. Once again, congratulations to JP Sneakers picking up the win in the Pro class and overall. Alex Pass picks up the championship in the Pro-Am. And Reese Penfold picks up the AM championship. Well done everybody, and thank you for joining me tonight, JC and Mr. McNulty, for this split.
Alright, so I'm sticking around.
You are sticking around?
Yeah,
I can't get rid of that.
with us, JC.
No, thank you, beautiful gentlemen, and to you, chat. Thank you for having me.
Oh, actually, while you're here, JC, I'll just pop it in chat now for the stream to view. We've got a little discussion. And there's oh my god, you've seen this already.
Oh, I have? Okay.
It's in the chat room, JC. You'll be able to look at that.
Oh, this is a good question actually. So this is another one that's got a lot of value in terms of context. But if you had to ask me overall, I find it hard to go past a good shower. It just does almost every job you want.
Good all-rounder.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a good all-rounder, and if it comes from a good hose, I think there's nothing that tops a shower in almost every case. Of course, all of those other ones have a specific purpose that they serve really well, other than soaker. Don't ask me what the hell that is for. Can you explain to me what the soaker does, and have you ever used it? That one that just sort of dribbles out in a pile.
Now I'm seeing what you've just done.
Oh, I tell you what he's done is he's cursed the Porsche Cup BMW race, by the way.
No.
Moist out
Don't
there.
blame me. Jason was in chat about 20 minutes ago, and he said it is belting down for the Porsche Beamers.
Well, this post from you in the chat room is more than 20 minutes ago, so you have cursed the poor old Porsche Cup BMW race, and they are going to be doing this in the wet.
You'd love to see it.
But no, in all seriousness, I don't
Shower.
know. That soaker, I'm not sure what that soaker is for. That's horrible. Mist is really good for spraying your kids on hot days. Jet's really good, obviously, for getting off stuff if you haven't got a pressure washer. But no, it's the all-rounder shower for me.
This is perhaps a great segue to introduce the next commentator, Alex Imey, to the chat. Alex, welcome in. I don't know if you've seen the images in discussion.
I think I have something about hose nozzle patterns.
Just a bit of an expert, perhaps.
I'm not with garden hoses.
No, that's how you fight fires in Tassie. Just get the old garden hose out. Put your thumb over the end of it. We don't even have nozzles.
Put your thumb over the end of it, that's always a good one. Use
Yeah.
that in many battles with your brothers. Chat, let us know what your favourite garden hose setting is.
Oh, jeez. we are scraping the barrel for questions.
Well,
Next
look,
up, garden hose nozzles.
It was inspired by the toast debate. Remember that? We had that a few months ago. You know, the 9 different toast levels that you can pick from. Yeah, so this is just continuing that trend. You know, what do you use? Fill in some dead time, you know.
Well, I'm going to pick a hose setting. It's shower. That's good for watering the base of plants. If you've got really what's the word? Sensitive plants. The mist is good. Otherwise, I just use my pressure washer. I love my pressure washer.
Pressure washer for watering the plants.
Yeah, just watering the parsley. Smash it with a 2200 PSI pressure washer. I used to know someone had a pressure washer, a strong one, and they cartridged their car, right? And yeah, you can, well, pressure wash your car. But they're doing it from like an inch away. I think as soon as you have any paint that wants to lift, you are just absolutely ruining your car. What are you doing? And it was the circular, I don't know sure if you know the different nozzles for pressure washers, but the circular one that's designed to take stuff off. Silly, silly man.
Yeah, it was probably not going to go too well in the long run, is it?
I'll be back in a second, just grab a drink.
No worries. So, qualifying 1 has ended here. Been busy talking about pressure washers, garden hose nozzles, and haven't really seen any times, but the track is greasy. Any in chat saying, love a good jet, go hard or go home. Yep, why not?
So the sun being out, it'll probably be completely dry for the BMW qualifying.
That's an interesting question. If that happens, I'm not sure if the times are slow enough, but I mean, the Porsche Cup cars are 202s. I guess that's what, maybe 8 seconds off the pace of quick GT3 cars. Do you reckon some of the Beamers could get close to that in the dry?
I very much doubt it, particularly with Mistral straight there. They're just going to lose so much time down that straight, and it's just about half the track, so yeah, I think we're going to see some pretty significant time differences even with the wetter session they've just had.
That's disappointing. It would have been really interesting. I don't know if they would have sorted the grid that way, but if some of the Beamers had actually out-qualified the Cup cars on pace.
So they would have separated them still into their classes.
Sad.
It's bad enough when one Porsche ends up in the BMWs because of an incident on lap 1, let alone starting there. I mean, it's entertaining for us, but quite a headache for the stewards.
Alright, so can't really see anything looking at this particular camera angle. Have to bear with us for a moment.
But the BMW qualifying has started, we know that much.
We can blame JC, he is in chat, said he went to put the kettle on and now all of a sudden it's dry. Yep, JC, it's your fault.
I must say, now we've got a bit more of a view of the attendance list. So we've got at least 26 cars in. Well, 25 once you take out the safety car.
You can't forget Janetta Weatherburn. Alright, so we go back. We are rolling around the track. And it's now fast. So the rain has cleared, the sun is beating down on the track. I would be surprised if this isn't optimum by the end of the session.
And the BMWs are going slower than a mobility scooter down the straight.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it's just the angle, but that looks very slow.
They go slow down the straight, then they do have to brake a fair amount for that corner, as we see a couple of them running wide.
Well, it's right. The best time to test the braking markers is the out lap. None of that silly rubbish about cutting a lap, corner cut to take to this lap, next lap invalid, like you see in the F1 games.
Yeah, it's not often that happens with ACC. I think there's a couple of corners and tracks that it will happen at, but only if it's pretty obvious you're going to be gaining advantage by doing so. Most of the time the game just prefers to disqualify you if you cut corners too much in qualifying.
It's hard to tell who is directly behind and Vintner here, but it might be close enough to get a bit of a slipstream down the Mistral straight, which would be worth a fair bit considering the pace of these cars.
You would think so, but no.
No? Okay.
Did a test when these cars first came out. I was behind a Ferrari Challenge that was deliberately going slow enough to have me in the tow. I gained maybe 2 kilometers an hour, if that.
Oh wow, okay. Never mind then. So definitely need more than a tow if you want to get speed.
I think what they actually need to do is have a Porsche Cup in front and physically attach a tow cable.
Maybe just have a Porsche Cup car behind bump drafting, you know? What could go wrong?
Oh yeah, I can see them doing that, and there'll be about 5 of them across the Mistral Straight, about a third of the way along. A little bit wide in the background there.
Yeah, but with it being such a long lap, and you think they're only really going to get 3 flying laps, and I think if the quick maths is serving me right there, you don't want to be invalidating the first one.
Yeah, the first one's probably the best one to invalidate, because your tyres still aren't going to be quite up to pressure or temperature the way these cars work. So being a longer track, there's more chance of them being closer to that window. But certainly you want to avoid invalidating with 2 or 3 laps at most that you're going to get in.
Why have we got yellow flags on the pit straight there, I wonder?
Looks like somebody's just pulled over, fucked it up for some reason. Or not, no, it's somebody has teleported back to the pits, and that's displaying the yellow there.
Very nice. That's very helpful. Also rather annoying, but alright, we live with it.
Got a
So-
2:12.8 as the pole time so far, so even with the dry conditions, still 10 seconds off.
Yeah, there's a few Beamers that haven't settled up yet, but a bit close to the top there. Gibbons only a 10th back. Herod, just over 2/10 from Ricard at the moment. You can see Valentini here coming in the last corner. What time can he put in? He's usually there or thereabouts. And the run to the line, and it's obviously invalid because it's a 2:12.6. So that would have been provisional pole. Oh, it's P2 now as Callum Gibbons puts in a 2:12.5. So Valentini, he's got the pace, just needs to set a valid lap.
And Rashidi fights back with a 2:12 dead, pretty much.
Wow, he's just pulled out. Yeah, 4/10. So that's a lot to find, particularly around here with the speed of these cars.
But that would be because it is the second flying lap where the tyres are pretty much in that window, which is worth a lot of time in these cars, particularly at a longer track.
You go, Chase. You were shouting out Austin McNeil, your old man, before. He's just gone P6 with a 2:13. I think that's 0.8. Kind of hard to tell with the small graphics on the
Maybe,
bottom.
yeah, 0.8.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there with Ethan Kale. He's caused all the yellow flags. Yes. So goggles do nothing. Mr. Mike Craig. What's your thoughts on Chrome cars, Alex? Fan or not really?
Chrome cars. Yeah, look. They're not the best, are they?
Well, Mullet was saying that they're his favourite before. He absolutely loves them, so...
Yeah, why do I get the feeling that well, that's not true?
Well, he spent a lot of time watching Paul Cranach's car, the Mirror. He quite liked that.
I just think, yeah, I just don't like them. Too shiny, if that makes sense.
It's like this from John in chat. If you ever feel useless, remember that M2 has a 7th gear.
Well, it's got a 6th and 7th gear that I've never used.
I don't think the 7th gear will be seeing much usage ever. So time is up. Drivers will have their current lap to complete if they want to improve their position. So this is it for Mike. It's got to be this lap or he'll be last in the Beamers, which is P12. He sets a time and it's only good enough for P12 anyway, so unlucky there for Mike.
But it's a 45-minute race at Paul Ricard. Anything can happen.
Yeah, well, let's hope it rains. That would really spice it up. So Valentini's managed to just pip Raschuti there with a faster 212.0. Not sure if Raschuti's still on track. It looks like he's on the last corner, so we'll see if the time updates. He goes through, he doesn't improve though. Watching Ben Vintner here. Needs about 0.6 of a second to gain a position. Oh, that was so close to invalidation there. Pulls it up to the last corner. Goes a bit deep, but manages to get away with it. And no, I reckon he's lost some time there, so he's going to come into the pits. And that is qualifying done.
Very close times across the field as usual.
while we're watching the cars here, I'm going to go get some water.
What is going on there?
I'm not sure we're allowed to show that on YouTube.
I don't think we are either. There was maybe another one. There's a few gaps in the field here, and not sure if that's why that's caused or what's caused that, but yeah, I don't think we can show that on YouTube. The strangest looking grid that I've ever seen.
ACC does not like those 2 qualifying sessions.
No. I also love that there's grid boxes, but they're just in random positions. They're not using any of the lines. Like, I haven't noticed that previously. Is that always been like that?
I'm going to guess probably.
No, I've never actually thought to look, but it's just so noticeable that it's just, yeah, whatever. We'll just stagger you in a certain way and we'll be happy with that.
Yeah, when you've got all those gaps, you start to notice those sorts of things because you're taking a closer look.
I want to be flying that thing. Anyone else in chat seen that before? They all noticed that before?
And yet towards the back here, they seem to be mostly lined up with the pit, with the boxes there, just a little bit off centre.
Right, I've caught up with what I was also updating. Never seen it before. It says Jan. Anyone else? Surely. Not too far away from starting. Ben is just off to grab us both a drink. I'm hoping it's an amaretto sour. If not, I'll be extremely disappointed with him. Janetta Weatherburn pulls away. Beautiful Janetta safety car.
The Jetta is a nice looking car.
It is. Just looks racy. I'm just going to try and find a standings for this. Standings brought to you by Mr. Cranage, I believe.
There it is at the back.
Rightio. So Ethan Cale leads the way, apparently, 725 points. Stefan Bashtold, 685. Stephen Ty, 675. So, still, any of those top three can win this. Stephen Ty is starting not from 26. That is an absolute lie game. It has not enjoyed whatever just happened in the qualifying, has it? Here we go.
Not at all.
Weston's jumped in tonight. Ethan Cale's going to be starting from P3. Humunta, who's P4 and champion, is going to be starting from P4. And Bushtold, oh, looks like he's just moved up a spot. I have no idea what's happening. This is going to be interesting.
This is definitely interesting weaving. Yeah, like you're saying, grid spots perhaps mixed up a little bit.
Yes. So that's the Porsche Championships. In the Beamer, JP leads the way. 354 points. Just been super consistent. Vincent P2 with 294, so there's a 60-point gap there, which last round the highest amount of points scored by a BMW car was 65 by Valentini, so JP might have another championship on the cards here to add to his trophy cabinet. Rashuti 290, Callum Gibbons 280, Ricard 260 and McNeil 255. Very tight for P2 in the BMW M2, so that's still up for grabs, but I just don't see anyone displacing JP. All right, who's your pick though for the Porsche Cup? Kale, Bushtold, Ty, they're the three. Who's going to take the championship?
Oh, I think it's pretty hard to go past Kale. He's been really good all season.
I'm going to go with Stephen Ty. I reckon he might just pull something out tonight. What about you, Mullet? Who's your pick?
Oh, it's hard to go past my boy Kale, but I want to be different. So I'm going to say, I reckon JP is going to win the Porsche Cup in the BMW.
I mean, if anyone's going to, it'll be him.
That would be something.
Let's say Stefan Bachtal is going to pick up his maiden victory to win the season, because Kale and Ty both have had drive-throughs and issues. I'm not trying to curse anyone. Cursing would be the opposite.
Wow.
I think it's going to be completely clean. But that's my prediction.
Bang, that is a big statement.
Kale and Ty pushing a little bit too hard, picking up the pens. All right, let's do this. Final race for Wednesday night till we have a 4-week break. We wait for green lights. Bit of a gap there forming. Come on, buzz boxes, we're away. Green lights. 3 wide in the third row there. Bushtold is in the middle of that battle. Up ahead, Weston's had a great start. May get turn 1 in the head. He does so far. There's a red Porsche coming across the track. I think it might have killed someone. We'll watch back later. That was scary. And I think we've slowed up. We have slowed up. There has been carnage, bloodshed, and mayhem in the back. And this is why every time I call a race, something kicks off. We didn't have a safety car in either of the sunset splits or races.
No, we didn't.
So we were due one.
I've already got one PC back up running after I've moved house. Apologies for this.
That's Productions.
Fuck off. It was Clomp. Oh, he's been booped.
Gets help.
And that is not great.
Oh, it's taken out the BMWs.
Let's go on board.
They did well just to part around all the carnage, honestly. Look at this. Bit of a help there, sideways.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Doesn't take much. So this series does have a not a formation lap, it does have a mandatory pit stop. I think they're going to be too slow, just quietly. We may not get this race started for another 10 minutes. I probably don't even think we need... Look at the gaps there between the Porsche and the BMW. The BMW is probably redlining it.
They're trying their best.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Probably in
'Cause
fourth gear, just weaving.
they're, as you said, they're doing you. Bit of damage there. You can see the leaders of the BMW, both Valentini and Raschuti, are the ones that collected Clomp on the way through. So you'd imagine those cars wouldn't be feeling great. Do they pit here? Well, they've got every right to, and the safety car is out, so the safety car will wait for them if they do get a pit stop in.
I think if you got damage, you got to pit.
Yeah.
Look at Rashuti's bonnet there. That's seen better days.
The
Yeah.
BMWs can take a fair battering and not be too affected because they're already slow anyway. So if you can get away with it until the
Shirley says no.
window opens, but no, he's coming in. The advantage of doing it here is you do get the opportunity to catch up to the back of the field.
I'd imagine Steve's going to pop into the pits. We'd hope so. That was a fairly big hit. Yep, into the pit lane he goes.
I'd be concerned if he wasn't pitting because it will be affecting the Porsche a fair bit.
Yeah, steering angle says turning right. He's going right as he's turning left. So that's a pretty cooked car. There's a car in the background, 87, Mike Crick.
I was just about to mention that. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Just having a casual drive around the south of France. You do you, Mike Crick.
He's having a holiday.
I can't stop saying it now. Oh, that car. I don't know if he set it up right or he's got issues with his gear, but no pit stop. He's just having a stroll.
Taking in the sights.
It is what it is. Imagine a whole stream of just obnoxious sayings.
We could do it.
That car is not pulling
Right.
up. Nah, well, let's not.
Yeah, please let's not.
Oh, I'm not saying tonight.
Oh, you have them all queued ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see here, Mitchell Weston had a great start. Got up to turn 1 in the lead, starting from P2. So it's Ty P2, Kale P3, Hermanto P4, and Stefan Bashtold P4. 5, I don't know, it's so confusing with the safety car. BMWs are trying their hardest to keep up. 42 is just leaving the pit lane now. That is unfortunate.
At least if it is one of the Porsches. If that was a BMW you're waiting on, you'd probably hear for the rest of the race.
Alright, good time to give Janetta Weatherburn a bit of screen time.
And here it is. Looks like Crick and Rashuti have caught up to the back of this pack. And Weatherburn's going to stay out for another lap. That is the rule we have given. If you do pits, as the safety car's called, to fix damage, we will wait for you. That being said, if you bin it on your outlap and you're going too slow and you're dawdling, then no. You'll be given one extra lap chance, and if you can't catch it then, tough titties.
It's fair enough to give him a chance to catch up. I mean, it is, I guess, a bit of a fun series. You want to see the fun element of it, and that's battling with other people, not just driving time trial laps, 30 seconds off the back of everyone.
I just got the feel that Klopp's going pretty slow. I'll soon find out what his last lap was.
Go on board with him.
Exit.
Put the pressure on him. Go on board with him.
Just hope it's fixed the damage for him if he has gone to pits. He was in there for quite some time, so you'd hope so. He should definitely catch up by the time they get to sector... Well, middle of sector 3 perhaps.
He just turns right there, he can catch up.
I think the safety car's probably gone a little bit too quick. It's obviously hard in the safety car when you're on Mistral. Doing 120 is, feels like you're walking.
Well, that is just about flat out for the Ginetta, isn't it?
Pretty much. What is it? Is that the slower one, or is it the Alpine that's like 240? Could be the Ginetta.
Ginetta.
Come on,
Ginetta
Steve.
set up for the British tracks, so it doesn't need to have the super straight line speed. Just be good in the twisty stuff.
Yep.
Well, while we're waiting for the safety car to pick up Steve, and we've got yellow dots on the track, is a stat from F1 last weekend at Monza. Charles Leclerc was the first driver to take pole position wearing a yellow race suit since Heinz Harald Frentzen took pole position at the 1999 European Grand Prix,
Wow.
back when he was driving for Jordan.
I didn't mind the yellow on the Ferrari. It didn't do, the suit didn't do much for me. The undergarment did. The black looked wicked. I wish they kind of keep that yellow on the car. Looks way better.
I thought the yellow writing of Ferrari on the rear wing was really nice.
Yep. Look great. All right.
It looks like
We're better
we're
resume.
back on.
Safety car's going to peel away. Mitchell Weston has control of this field, and he's gone. He's out of here. He is not here to put shoes on caterpillars. And nor should he need to. So it's Weston, Ty, Kale, Bashtold. Where on earth did Hermanto go? He's down in 8th. He must have had a mistake during the safety car lap.
Yeah, possibly, or he might have overtaken a few people after the safety car was called, and the steward said, "Hey, look, you need to give those positions back, maybe."
That's very true. Well, we've lost 10 minutes of the race, so it's a 35-minute race now. Pit window is open. You can pit now to serve a mandatory stop. We've gone on board with Hermanto, who looks pacey. He's chasing down Bushell and Hamilton. Good to see Lemon Hamilton back out there. What type of top speeds are we getting in the Porsche Cup? Are we hitting 280? Doesn't look like it.
Surely not.
Maybe with a toe downhill with the wind. That's not far off.
Done well though. He's just boxed Bushell out of that one in between Hamilton and himself, so he's gained a position. And that is very wide at the back there. Who that was, I'm not sure, but definitely wide.
We rally crossing now.
We do have a car in the pits other than the safety car. Car 24. That's Zachary Baldwin.
So I'm guessing he's followed the safety car in to serve a mandatory stop.
Could be, but he should be out by now. It's a long stop. And he's going to be blue flagged up to his eyeballs. If he comes back out now, he's going to be a lap down.
Or perhaps there was damage there and he decided to stick it out under the safety car to get in that pit window. But it doesn't look like it's really worked out for him being that far back now.
Wow, what is going on here? They look like they're slowing up for a safety car.
They do. The angle is deceptive, isn't it?
It is. These are great fun to race though.
By far the best cars in ACC for that door-to-door style racing.
Absolutely. Looks like Klomp has now managed to get past all the BMWs. He's on the back of the Porsche lineup, but he's 11 seconds back with a 15-second penalty. I'm going to assume the penalty was for the way he re-entered the circuit. Even though he did hit the wall, all effort must be made to slow the car up with your brake pedal, and I'm going to assume that was not met.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was slowing down particularly quickly. that terminal incident, but hard to say without seeing the actual inputs.
That's what we've got the shooting team for. They've obviously had a good look at it and decided that he's getting 15 seconds for it.
So a long night here for Steve. Baldwin is 3 laps down.
I think he's done
I'm
now.
going to say that's a disconnect and rejoin the server, being that many laps down. That wouldn't be a pit stop, no matter what damage was caused. And he's got a 10-second penalty, so he's probably the one that was in the back of Klomp. Lots of if, buts and maybes, but nonetheless, Mitchell Weston leads the race in the Porsche Cups. Steve and Ethan are going to duke it out for this championship, I reckon. Carl leads the way by 40 points. The difference between P1 and P2 points is 20, so if they stay this way, Cale will win.
So for Steve to win, he needs to obviously win. That gives him the best chance. Where does he need Ethan to finish? Off the podium?
4th. Yes.
4th. Okay.
150 points for 1, 100 points for P4.
He needs to pass Mitch Weston and needs Stefan to do him a favour as well.
Yep.
That's doable. They're all within about 3 seconds at the moment.
I
Top
still
4.
reckon DT's are going to come to play here, as we saw in the last race at the Split Sunset. They're quite easy to pick up. I don't want to come to that, but just saying it's a possibility. The front 4 sort of opened up a little bit of a gap here. Hamilton, Susanna, Hermanto, Bushel, all in a nice little battle. Bushtold, P4, just off the back of Cale. He's ready. He's ready to pick up those scraps. You just give him one little sniff. And he's like my golden retriever. With any food, he'll pick him up and he'll eat it.
Yeah, gotta love Max.
He is so tired today. We're moving boxes and cleaning, so he just follows us. That is exhausting for a 13-year-old dog. He goes Hermanto on the inside, gets the move done. Nice little overtake, moving us up to P6.
It's very nicely done the inside there. See Ethan here on the tail of Stephen Ty. Cale Motorsports is his team name. Right, don't mind that, naming it after yourself.
You do you, Cale? Is that what you're saying? Just looking at this though, Slipstream under Ty's wing, he's not really making many gains. Ty has probably stripped that car back quite considerably. 285!
Wow.
That's pretty quick.
That is rapid sauce. Oh, he's going to have a bit of a sneaky look. It's very hard to get a pass there. He's going to be very careful running on the outside where Ty was sitting. Great heads-up driving there from both of them. There's Bushtold. He's ready. He loves his Porsche. If we had a new series next season, he'd be the first to sign up, I reckon.
He's probably got everything in a Word document or a notepad ready to go just so he can paste it all in.
Yep. Control C, Control V. Try and keep half an eye on the Beamers. This is one thing that I don't really like about the dual classes and as a broadcaster is, especially in ACC, you kind of really do miss the lower class battles. Valentini had a bit of a gap earlier and he's really dropped back here. I swear he was a couple of seconds ahead. Well, Gibbons has just put his foot down. Gibbons, Vincent are not too far back. Championship leader in the Beamers, Seneka's P4. And his delivery might be worse than his actual GT3 one. That is not good.
That
Imagine
is
rocking up
bad.
to a spray painter and saying, "Can you do this type of thing for me?"
Yeah.
If it was my business, I'd be telling you to go elsewhere.
But if he's paying you the money, do you still do it, or you just don't do it out of principle?
Out of principle, I'm telling him to get out.
Yep. Pretty even gaps now, 8/10 between P2, P3, P4. Oh, Bushel, side by side. That's Sasana.
Ambitious.
Nice racing. He's gone deep. Oh, Susanna just loses the rear a little bit, but he's ahead. Switching positions in consecutive corners.
Yeah. It's a nice flow. Couple of corners there, scenes, and the long right-hander get a couple of different lines through there. You can take a really late apex, run it wide, or you can keep it narrow. It provides a couple of passing opportunities like we just saw.
Yep. Just saying in chat that Valentini, Mr. Capital Letters himself, has some damage, which obviously hasn't fixed yet from the Turn 1 incident. We did see Rashuti pits as soon as he could, which was during the safety car. Rashuti back up to 6th in the BMW class.
But if he chooses to repair that damage during the pit stop, that does put Gibbo in a really good position.
It does. Gibbons is currently P4 in the BMWs. 14 points off P2. 13th won't get him enough points because the points are scored for all the cars out on track, not just separate classes. I think. I'm not quite sure that's the way the point scoring was meant to be.
I'm not sure.
But Kranich is doing all the points for us, and he's doing a stellar job as Vincent pits.
I'm pretty sure in this sort of racing, in real life, each separate car class does have its own points totals.
That's
So
true.
if you get P1 in your class, you get P1 points.
So maybe a count back is needed. Either way, it'll probably still balance out the same. It's just those that miss out on points altogether. Well, there'll be bigger gaps for smaller rewards at the moment. So say if you win win the BMW at the current system, you're going to get 60 points. If you're going to finish about, I don't know, 10th, 12th. But if you win in your own class, you get 150, and the gap between 150 and 130 is a lot higher than 60 to 55. So I don't know if it'll change it too much, but hey, it's just a bit of fun.
I don't think it'll change too much, and yeah, when I was doing the BMWs last season, I didn't really care about the points totals that were being put up. I was just having some nice door-to-door racing fun.
Much like this right now, Rashuti looks at the inside of her rod. What type of speed they're doing? 255, 50, just 50 on 56. Oh, that was close.
So,
It's
yeah,
the
but-
slowest looking 256 I've ever seen. 256 is quick. That is fast in a car. Oh, Gibbons. Looks like he's got Valentini. Valentini is better off just pitting now. Biting the bullet. Wouldn't imagine that aero's helping his top speed. I reckon he'll
Alex.
pit now. Surely. No, he's going to try and
so
send it.
close.
Oh, he's just absolutely sent that. If he wants to pit, Gibbons is going to pit. What a turn of events there.
How the
That's
turntables.
baller. That is a great decision by Gibbo. I rate that highly. He's going to try the undercut as Valentini has damage and less top speed.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea from him.
4,000 level IQ play there by Gibbons.
He knows he's faster,
Yep.
and he knows Valentini's got damage that's probably going to have to be fixed.
As the blue flags start arriving already. Let's go on board with Weston.
Gibbo's playing 7D chess. We're all playing checkers.
Another saying.
You don't like that one?
No, I don't mind that one. Now, Weston, I believe this is his first race in the Porsche Cup Series this season. I could be wrong. I haven't seen his name out there often. Yeah, he's got no points. He has not scored a point. So, yes, I'm going to say that. How is he going to go with the blue flags? Does he know the Porsche Cup rules?
Well, you'd hope that you'd at least read the driver handbook and the steward's manual before embarking on a new series, but there's very few people that read those documents.
Look at him. Look at the approaching speed. Insane. Oh, this is awkward. This is going to be right on the 50. No, he's backed off, so he's obviously well aware. Well done. Tip of the fedora. Plus JLS will mention it in his little pre-race briefing. Around the outside. BMW makes him earn it. Oh, you can punt JP with that livery. That's fine. That's free hit. Nah, don't, please.
Yes, he would not be happy, putting it mildly.
No, the livery wouldn't notice, but JP would definitely notice and let you know about it, as that is Valentini is going to pit. So he's going to follow what Gibbons has just done. That looks pretty pacey into pit lane, I won't lie.
That might be a bit quick.
That might be a bit quick.
Let's go to the live action replay.
I can't. Oh, he might be all right. Stewards will have a look at it like they do with every pit entry. Now we have to watch this boring bit. So it's Western, Ty, Kale. 19 minutes to go. Mandatory pit stop has not been served by these gents.
So that safety car period at start really brings in the bender strat. Run as long as you can, then pit right at the end.
This is the interesting battle I want to watch here. Valentini has just dropped off his boxes. This should be pretty tight. Yeah, Gibbo should have him. He would have fixed some damage there too. There he is, and he's jumped him in the pits. Or through the pits. Well done, Mr. Gibbons.
And Gibbo is going to put out a gap this lap too, because he's got the tyres up to temperature.
So now can Gibbo hold on?
For the Beamers.
Don't think that damage has been fixed.
Could be visual.
Oh, okay, visual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does it a lot. Shooty, meanwhile. He did show some great pace in qualifying. He's caught up to the back of JP here. No, I'll take that back. He's already passed JP. The timing board on the left is wrong. Timing board down the right is correct. It's a feature.
Oh, we don't need accurate times, do we?
It'll update soon. Go on. You know you want to. I'll probably wait for the start finish.
Yeah, I mean, there's that many different mini sectors around the track that you can... What is going on there? That you can use for timing updates. How it only updates once, 3 times a lap when you go over the sector line is just baffling.
Yeah, there's micro sectors and there's normal sectors. Just the way the API data is sort of sent, it's a bit strange. Looks like Jake Graham's had a bit of a moment there. Or he's just let the blue flag car through, so Fair play. Prianata and McNeil. McNeil's going to have a look. It's hard to get a move done on the outside of that corner. With a lot more overlap to make the move down into this one. He's going to have a look. He's left the door open. And gets it done. I might have just shut the screen door a little bit harder than Prianata did there.
Yeah, well, the flies came in.
Yep, Mum's screaming at me. We're born in a tent, is another saying. Ty's got it under 1 second between himself and Weston. Carl not too far back. No drive-through penalties yet. Klomp's got 25 seconds of pens.
Yeah, just a few.
Just wants to keep the stewards on their toes. Fair play to him.
Make them earn their Dan Murphy's voucher.
Oh, Weston's in first. Oh, I thought that was a dummy for a second. And Carl's going to follow him.
Well, he was a bit naughty, Mitch Weston there, with straddling the pit entry line. Didn't fully commit to it to the very end.
You've got to be careful there. We do have a bit of leniency with the entry line at most circuits, but if you do cause an incident, or an incident is caused because you've actually crossed the line, then you're going to get absolutely spanked. The exit line, however, different ballpark. Must obey that. You have the right of way too on the exit line here, not those on the current lap.
It's a little bit off topic, but in the Enduro, I found a couple of times when I was driving, my engineer was so late telling me this car exiting the pits that it was really, last moment. Oh my goodness, move out the way, and then hope you don't hit them.
However, having said that, there was not a single issue with the pit entry or pit exit for the 8 hour, which I was actually quite surprised about.
Love to see it.
Or at least none that were reported to me anyway.
Well, you should be fine at Spa 12 hour. Oh, careful there.
Steven Tyre, that's not what you want to be doing.
Spa. The entry, you're also going to damage yourself. The exit, it just goes for so long. So long.
Tell you what you might see in the Spa 12 hour, if it rains, there's a couple of really sneaky, tricky bumps on the pit exit, just on top of Radion. And if it's raining, and someone comes out the pit a little bit too fast on cold tyres, because the pit lane's massive, and bins it.
Have we checked the forecast yet?
No, I haven't. And that could be interesting. Saw the general one. I think it was like an average chance of 70% rainfall in October though at Spa.
Like, that's just Spa all year round, I would have thought.
Yeah, it said the same for Zolder, but it ended up being dry and hot. Shruti has managed to put himself in P1 through the pit stops. Absolutely flying along. Gibbons chasing him. Valentini P3. Is that Sneakers P4? So this could be a very spicy finish here for the BMWs. 30 minutes to go. Trying to keep an eye on the leaders. Weston, Kale, Bashtold, 1, 2, 3 after the pit stop. Ty is still out there. He's not too far back from this group. Just coming around that corner behind them now. So let's check the standings for Beamer. It won't change much whatsoever. I think JP's pretty much locked in for P1. Vintner is 4 points clear of Rashuti. So Rashuti should get Vintner and move up to P2. Gibbons may do the same and move up to P3.
JP winning the BMWs. Let me put on my surprised face.
Anyway, that meme, that's the best meme. Oh no! Anyway,
Oh no. Anyway,
Well, you gotta love Jeremy Clarkson for that. It just applies to so many situations.
oh it does.
Look at this. Look how close these beamers are.
Ty is in the pits, so I just want to keep an eye on that as well. Too many things to watch.
and still doing a better job than the Monaco TV director.
It's Lance Stroll, we have to know! Oh, I remember when those memes got around. That was everywhere for like 2 weeks.
So that has not worked out for Ty whatsoever. He's got to come out behind Kale and right next to Bushtold. Stefan with these nicely freshly warm tyres should be able to hold on here. And does. So Kale, Ty's dropped down to 5th, but that's because Mr. Brad McDonald hasn't pitted yet. So provisionally P4. Does that change the championship?
Well.
Don't. Oh, it may. No, it doesn't. It doesn't change at all because Kale is actually winning. Still 10 minutes left. Are you guys looking forward to Spa?
Yeah, absolutely. Best track in the world.
I'll be looking forward to it if I can get a good enough stewarding team.
Good enough, did you say?
Well, at the moment, there's maybe 1 or 2 of us.
Oh, it's plenty.
Just do 6-hour shifts, no worries.
Yeah, I know them feels. It's like the team steward themselves. What could possibly go wrong?
I think that's the best idea ever.
Well, I'll tell you what had happened. The server would be restarted until it's raining. Any team that disagrees would be DQ'd.
I kind of want it to. I want it to be dry for 10 hours of the race. That's what I'd love to see, and then have two sessions of rain.
I don't want it to rain the whole time. I'd like to see one of the following: dry, wet, or wet, dry, wet. So it's, you know, one of the others.
Why not both?
Yeah, for a long period, and it changes, and then it changes back. That'd be nice.
Why not dry, wet, dry, wet, dry, wet?
Sure, yeah, that works too.
Yeah, I think a couple
that's
of
close.
a couple of variations in the weather like that does make for interesting racing.
It just spices it up, makes it exciting for the drivers and the viewers. Adds a bit more of a challenge to it. The
Whereas
Paul
the
Ricard 8
race
hour was the wettest race that I've ever broadcasted and witnessed.
Beautiful.
You know what? And I really enjoyed it. I don't know if the competitors enjoyed it as much. What I've heard back from everyone is that, yeah, they loved it.
Oh,
They probably wouldn't want to do it all the
100%.
time, but a bit of a bump pass.
God, it gets the cheeky flash as well. Not sure I'm a fan of that one.
No, I reckon JP's got a bit of overlap already.
The Nico Rosberg strat, turn in as late as physically possible.
Giving him the absolute minimum room there.
I would have done the same. Did you curse me on Sunday, Bender?
When?
By
I
not,
wasn't.
by not watching?
No.
No, I bet you did. I could just sense a Bender curse from wherever you were on Sunday. Fancy leading for half a race and finishing ninth. Oh, I'm such a dick.
Is that like your sixth sense, being able to sense a bender curse is incoming?
It is. I'm in tune. You might be right. Valentini is struggling for pace. Maybe he didn't fix a little bit of the damage, or he just...
I don't think he did fix the damage.
I think he just got a little bit more with that bump pass. That wouldn't be helping to it. That gap now, Rashuti, 3 seconds clear of Gibbo and P2. It's taken off in the last 5 minutes after the pit stops. Yeah, see, George Fowler in chat, he thought the rain at Paul Ricard was great. Yeah, look, obviously people don't want to race in that all the time, but I think it would have been worse if it was static rain at one level the whole time. The fact that it did dry out and stop raining for a little bit, okay, it didn't get dry enough for slicks, but there were variations in how wet it was, I think made it quite interesting and an enjoyable challenge.
Yeah. Shooting can be exhausting, Jad. The sprints are probably more taxing when it comes to how stressful they are in a short period of time. It's just the length of time in the endurance races which are a bit more exhausting.
Yeah, the super sprints are probably the worst for that, just because you've got so little time to get penalties sorted, particularly for the top 12 in the first race. The enduros, you get to take your time deciding on a penalty, have a really good look at it, but you're just there for so long.
For broadcasting wise, the endurance races are just taxing more than these ones. You got more battles to flick to in a shorter race in general, so you got to try and find things to view and discuss for longer. And talking hour upon hour is tiring. So yeah. But at the same time, it's a different type of call. You're not at a high intensity for as long until the last bits of the race or until some rejoins.
Yeah, it's a lot more because you can bring in random facts, history, previous races, all that sort of thing.
Mind you,
Focus
we
on
have
memory.
asked what people's favourite hose nozzle is during tonight's Super Sprint. That's pretty funny.
Have you discussed the fact that the Mistral Strait is actually longer than the airport next door?
I did actually.
We
I've
did.
done that. That's been checked off the bingo list.
Also, just move the airport to Mistral Strait.
Just put the straight onto like the airport. They just extend the track.
Maybe that's what we can do for Spa. Come up with a bingo sheet. And, oh, someone's hung up there, P. Viney. They come up with a bingo sheet. And he's just lost it there. Tried to do the drift.
Penalty
And,
for delivery.
yeah.
I think he's just been messing with his new button box too much. Apparently that arrived for him today.
Oh, nice.
Did it really already?
That is quick.
Good on you, Derek at Simrigs, you bloody legend. Also, those that are patrons, the discount code is now available on our Discord. So if you want to 5% off anything in their store, make sure you check it out.
That is pretty generous.
It all helps.
Well, 5% is actually a fair amount when you're talking about some of the more expensive items.
Oh, definitely. JP's looking on the outside here of Gibbons. Oh, that's got to be close. That is some decent driving to stay out of his rear bumper.
Love to see a replay of that from bonnet cam if we get the chance in a moment. That was so close between JP and Gibbo.
Oh, I just missed pressing it. It was close. We'll say they kissed. There's a bit going on here with lap cars coming through. This Ethan Cowell, he's P2. JP, who's P3 in class. Oh, it's going to kick off. Who's that? It's Ty is right behind Cale. He's going to go around the outside of the BMW. They're going to drag down to turn 1. Oh, that is a good use of blue flag cars there.
Don't mind that. That's cheeky there from Ty, but taking the opportunity, he's going to go around the outside into 1, but Cale going to defend nicely on the inside.
I think Cale's had a moment somewhere because there's 7 seconds between himself and Weston.
He's just been through the traffic. That's not a bad spot maybe, but this is the last lap. There's a minute left, and Weston just coming around onto the Mistral now.
So as we're saying, the 50 points separates these two in the championship. Cale is leading. Cale, if he has an off here, Ty Bash told Hamilton get past.
Oh, that's a track extension.
That's
there,
pretty
but,
wide.
Cheeky.
oh, you'd have to know that you've got one spare.
Yeah.
Even though you wouldn't be doing that if you're on the limit.
Oh, where's he going to defend? Ty has got the run. This is the final lap. They're going down Mistral. Cale's going to make him earn it around the outside, but he might already be past before they get to the turning point. They are. Cale's going to have to try and tuck him right behind and get a little dart. Ty is just absolutely ringing that Porsche. Oh, he's going to close up, but he's just going to find it hard to get a move done. He's going to have to dive. Final corner if he gets close enough. He's too far back here.
Don't need the place though, Ethan. You don't want to risk a penalty as well.
Oh, just send it, Ethan. Just send it.
Send it.
You've been given the green light. Send it, sir.
Go on,
Ty's flying. Absolutely flying. But well done, Mitch Weston. P1. Ty and Cale have been fighting it out all series. Ty's going to cross the line P2. But Cale is going to pick up the championship for the Porsche Cups. Let's go down to the Beamers. Rashudi's going to pick up the win. And there's an absolute what is going on back here? Gibbons, looks like they're crawling. Valentini! Sneakers, that's close! 0.009! Oh, the length of my hair! And I don't have any.
What a finish.
What a finish. What a way to send it out. Sneakers, Valentini. Valentini's got him by 9 thousandths across the line. Oh, squirrely there. Damiano is chasing. Oh, sorry, that was Brad McDonald. Dirk Laney, P9. McDonald, P10. Stop showing me the pits, you stupid game. Cranich is going to be P20. Mr. Viney, P21. And his new button box. Kovacs, 2. Like it. Rochford loves his purple. He loves his purple. There's always purple kicking about for Mr. Rochford.
Him and Jeep are fans of the purple.
It's just a nice accent colour, I think.
So Page has come into our chat after his clean sweep of the season and said, yay, man of much excitement. He's come in the chat now and he's gone, oof! A man of few words.
Robot confirmed.
And Crick's going to cross the line for our last finisher of the night. No, Graham's still out there. Please tell me right. I swear he was in the pits again. He is in the pits. Thanks, game. You are tops.
Esports ready.
Esports ready.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Well, let's just quickly go over the standings again for the final race of the series. Western Tie Kale 1, 2, 3. Bushtold's going to finish fourth. So Ethan Kale takes out the Porsche Cup Championship. And in the Bemmers, Rashuti picks up the win from Gibbons and Valentini. Sneakers 9 1,000ths behind, but he will pick up the BMW M2 win and championship overall. So congratulations, JP. Not enough winning though. Get good. Thanks to Alex Jaime and Mr. McDonough for joining me tonight.
It has been fun all season with these guys.
Certainly has. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight in chat. Bender, any last words from you, sir?
Oh, just going to say thanks for tuning in, everyone, this season. Chat, as always, legends. And yeah, it's just been fun alongside yourself, Alex, and JC, who left us earlier, commentating all the action for Porsche and Beamers, and of course, Split Sunset.
My word. Make sure you sign up for next season in sprints. We've got how it works is it's the same as every other season, except Simrigs has jumped on board this season. They're contributing nearly $1,000 worth of prizes for our series. What you have to do is, if you're a patron, you're entered the draw and you can win these prizes. You don't have to pay anything else. You have to complete 5 at least of the 7 rounds, and that's drawn at the end of the season. So sign up, get involved.
What are the prizes?
Wait and see.
Ooh,
Similar-ish to what Simrigs had for Paul Ricard 8 hour, but I get to select a value amount, and I'm also going to contribute a prize as well to get it up to about $1,000. So make sure you jump in, get involved, and win prizes and have fun. That's all it's all about. No, Bender, there will be no toys like that given out.
I didn't even say anything.
You don't need to blow anything up. You don't need AA batteries. Anyway, we're going to go. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow night.
Thanks, everyone.